Nation. Once again, you are listening to Rogue Nation, your one stop for whatever we do. Tonight, as always, I got Kevin to the core.
Yo.
I got Heel Hunter Joe.
You forgot me already, bro?
I did.
What's up?
I got Just George.
Yeah.
And as always, I'm the big man, Justin. And we're going to jump right into comics tonight because there's really not much to talk about in toys.
Before that, I'm going to jump into these bread bites.
Yeah. So tonight we're going to lead off with some comics. Do you want to start off with your Absolute Carnage? You wanted to talk about it last week, but we didn't read it yet. So
actually, yes, I do. But I want to give a cool shout out to Esad Ribic's Conan the Barbarian Exodus.
Okay.
Number 1, which is it's Conan's venture leaving Samaria.
Oh, all right.
Which is cool because I'm now reading 2 fucking Conan books. To think that a couple of months ago I went from 0 to 2.
Well,
and now I'm on 3 Conan books.
Well, a couple months ago there were no Conan books, so it's not
right.
hard.
but I meant like it was not a character I was thinking I was going to be fucking reading. Nonetheless,
No.
2 books.
Him returning to Marvel was a pretty big deal.
Right. So it's been cool of like Jason Aaron's run on Conan the Barbarian. It's the life and death of like him as King Conan, and then some random adventure that is a through line through his life. And then Jerry Dungan's Savage Sword of Conan has been amazing, of just like random adventures, and it's been awesome. To me, that's been my favorite so far. It's just like it's his adventures along the way to before he obtains his sword, like the Conan sword.
Okay.
So then now this new one, Conan the Barbarian Exodus, again, like I said, it's Esad Ribic's, who's the artist. It's his first time writing for Marvel.
Thor God of Thunder artist.
Thor God of Thunder artist, and also Secret Wars with Jonathan Hickman.
Yep, that's right.
It's the first time he's writing and...
so he's doing the whole book.
Yeah, he's doing the whole book.
Okay.
Right? He's writer, colorist, and pencil.
Wow.
Now, really funny that I say writer. All the panels, the whole book is silent. It's just Conan just leaving some... It literally starts with him leaving Samaria. And he's being hunted down by wolves, a jaguar, a bear, and then a hunter at the end. So it's kind of just funny seeing like various dangerous things constantly going after him and him overcoming these obstacles. And nature's one of them. He trips down like a snowy mountain, water, whatever, but it's all quiet. So there is no dialogue.
Yeah,
so
he's a good visual storyteller, though. So
yeah, that's what I was going to give props to Esad Ribic. The faces of like the animals, they emote, and like Conan emotes. So when he's surprised, you see like eyes bulge, and when he's mad, you see like a brow go down. And it's like, dude, Esad Ribic is really like. It's cool how he told a story with just art, and I like the panel layout. It wasn't like the 9 square or like 4 square. It was like strips that were horizontal and then other strips that were vertical.
Oh, I like when artists take liberties like that and do
It's
like
really
good
cool.
stuff. Yeah.
So all the horizontal ones were telling more of the background story of the environment, and then all the all the vertical ones, I'm sorry. All the vertical ones were of Conan doing an emoting or something like savage, like when he'd stab like a wolf, and it'll go really big. It'll go not like splash page, but it'll go bigger across the vertical ones. God damn it, the horizontal ones.
Very reminiscent.
So I just wanted to shout out that out. I did find that it was really cool at the end where he comes across a hunter like raping and pillaging a random village away from Samaria. When they talk, it's these symbols. It looks like Roman to me. I don't know what it is. It's another language. So since Conan doesn't speak it or understand it, I love how the dot bubbles, the speech bubbles, are in these symbols. Since Conan doesn't understand it himself.
That's neat.
So to me, it was really cool.
Clever.
Yeah, it was really clever. So again, that was Conan the Barbarian Exodus. I'm going to keep reading it. Supposedly it's a short. There's not really much you could say about Conan's adventure leaving Samaria when he was like 15 or 17, whatever. But I think it's cool. I enjoy it. So no one else read Absolute Carnage, number 1?
No, I read it.
You read it.
All right.
What'd you think?
I mean, it's Donny Cates, so it was an interesting read. I got to admit, I didn't read Web of Venom, the Carnage issue. I didn't read that one, so I didn't really understand what was going on with Carnage. Is it that Cletus Cassidy's dead and he's been resurrected?
Yeah, he's been resurrected by a cult.
Okay.
A cult of No.
Yeah.
So they resurrected Cletus Cassidy, and he bonded with the piece of the Venom Dragon.
And now that's Carnage.
Yes.
Okay.
Being controlled by Null through this other symbiote.
But I did like the idea that he keeps attacking and killing people who have worn a symbiote.
Yeah.
Because he's trying to get the codex.
The codex, the signature that each symbiote leaves behind.
Yeah. So Spider-Man's got to be one of them.
Yeah.
And then, but they go after, at the end of the book, they go after Osborn.
I love that ending.
Yeah. But they're also trying to protect Normie, too. Because Normie... And they have to go to the Maker, which I thought was really cool, bringing the Maker back into it.
No, he came back in?
Right, because they run out of options. Okay, so we're saying they. We don't mean Venom and Eddie.
Venom and Spider-Man.
They team up in this.
Yes. Because the whole thing is, Venom's trying to protect his son, which Dylan, which still thinks he's younger brother. He hasn't told him yet. They're on the run, and Carnage keeps leaving dead bodies in Eddie's way and they're all people who've worn a symbiote at one time. Even
bodies of people that died. So there's this news thing, and it's people who have already died that have had a symbiote, and he recollected those bodies, removed their fucking spines, and dumped it in some construction site in New York.
And they keep reporting on it. So Eddie doesn't know he has to protect Dylan, but he knows because he had a run-in with Carnage, right? So he knows what he's after.
Yeah.
He's after a piece of the symbiote. Oh, and they're being chased at one point by somebody, and they freak out, and it's Eddie's symbiote. It's actually the Venom symbiote.
Yeah, that saves them.
Yeah, he was disguised as a guy in a coat with a hat, and he could talk now. And they're like, well, I forget the reasoning. What happened?
It doesn't explain why he's all of a sudden aware again.
So they kind of they bond together. Well, they don't bond. They connect together, but Eddie's kind of resisting because he's still pissed because the symbiote hid memories from him.
Yeah.
So he's not really willing to bond fully with it again.
Well, not just hid memories. If I remember correctly, because that was one of the last issues I read. It fabricated his cancer.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's just wild.
Oh, well, he's upset because it messed with his mind.
Yeah. I mean, I would be too.
So he goes to Spider-Man because he knows Spider-Man is the only one that can take care of Dylan. Of course, Spider-Man being Spider-Man, he's like, "What are we doing?" He's asking all these questions. He's being Spider-Man.
It's really funny.
Yeah, and then they decide that they have to make something that's going to remove the codexes from their body safely. But they're like, and even. And Spider-Man's kind of speculating. He's like, we need to do this. Reed could do it, but, he'd have to have started 6 months ago to be ready for it now. And that's when Eddie's like, I have an idea. So they go to the Maker. And it's funny because
they walk in on him, literally putting the final piece on the machine that they needed him to build.
Yeah.
And he's like, I started a couple of weeks ago. It's like, what?
But the funniest thing is, he does, the Maker does tell him, he's like, hi, I'm Reed Richards. Who are you? Because Spider-Man's like, who are you? And he's like, I'm Reed Richards. I'm from another dimension. And that's it. That's all they say. You would have thought Spider-Man would have been like, wait, calm down. Hang on a second. You're who? What? Because he doesn't even know that the Maker is also evil.
Right.
Well, I mean, Spider-Man has had, a lot of Spider-Geddons and crossovers with other
he says that. He says that. He's like, oh, wait, what? Oh, okay, that's cool. And even the Maker's taken aback, of no follow-up questions. And he goes, yeah, I've met plenty of versions of myself too. That's it. And that's it. And then they just move on with the plot.
That's a pun. He made his own pun.
Yeah.
So they're going to use the machine to extract the codex from
Dylan and the grandson, Peter's grandson.
Well, Normie, because
which
when
Harry's son?
Yeah, Harry's son.
Yeah.
When Norman Osborn was Red Goblin, he had the Carnage symbiote. He made Normie a little symbiote as well. So Normie actually had a piece of the symbiote as well.
Wow.
Yeah.
The symbiotes get around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they want to try it on Normie, but they're afraid that it's not going to be safe. So they have to decide. They have to find somebody to test it on first. That if they die, it's not that big a deal. So they go after Norman Osborn.
Dude, think about it. Like in a book, literally Peter Parker has a moral dilemma of whether or not he's okay with killing Norman Osborn, someone who's consistently tried to kill him.
So they go to where they're holding Norman.
The Ravencroft's penitentiary?
Yeah, it's asylum.
Asylum.
And they go there, and Norman's singing a song, which has been sung through the entire book. Because it's just like a little like a little sing song thing.
So, some lullaby or something.
But Cletus has already beaten him there, and he's taken over the minds of everybody in the institution.
Okay.
So Venom and Spider-Man have to figure out how to get out of there with Norman Osborn. And at one point, they lock themselves in the cell with Norman Osborn while Venom holds the door, and he's like. Venom's just like, you need exit. You need to make one now. He's like, what are you talking about? There's 5 foot, thick titanium walls. He's like, I don't need problems. I need answers. Make a hole. Let's go. Spider-Man just starts punching through the wall.
Dude, it's nuts. And mind you, we're breezing past the part that, remember, the last thing we knew of Norman Osborn, he had bonded and become the Red Goblin. Mm-hmm. It's the Carnage symbiote. It has messed up Norman so much that he believes he is Cletus Cassidy.
They think that what happened is that his whole personality has been replaced by Cletus Cassidy in Norman's body because of the Carnage symbiote that he stole had a piece of that it just completely replaced him.
Yeah, because we've already shown that they can mess with people's minds.
Yeah,
it's weird.
So, but that's where it ends. Is like
and calls Venom Daddy. Like he calls Venom Daddy.
Well, he is.
Right.
Yeah, Carnage is
Which is weird because it's coming from Norman, not the Carnage, the one that's chasing them.
Dude.
But every time they show Carnage, it's fucking weird because he's got the Carnage head, but then as he goes down, he becomes more skeletal.
Yeah.
So like his rib cage you can see, and then his hip bones and everything.
Yeah.
It's all
and
skeletal.
The spine, so it's just like nothing in the center.
To really emphasize that he's not alive. It's almost like a zombie. It's almost like a zombie. Carnage, yeah.
It's like they took the concept of Carnage and made him more demented.
As if you could. I mean, Carnage was also a demented character to begin with.
He was made to be worse than Venom.
Dude, it's nuts. And then I think it ends there, right? Like before they get attacked.
Yeah, because what happens is they make Norman and the Carnage symbiote that was chasing them. I think they connect. And
that's right. They kept thinking that it's after Norman to like. Kill, and then they're like, wait, no. He's like, no, I want him. I want to rebirth. What is it? Damn, he says a word. I want to use him, resurrect him, or whatnot. And then you see a bit of the symbiote come off Carnage and onto Norman Osborn. So then it literally looks like 2 Carnages are just about to attack Eddie and Peter.
It was good.
It's a great read. Bro, and Ryan Stegman, the artist, that dude has come a long fucking way, man. The art is beautiful but dark. It's beautiful but dark, man. And it has these like cool, smooth colorings. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure if Ryan Stegman is also the colorist, but man, it's so awesome.
I gotta say, I picked this book up because he recommended. I really wasn't going to do it. All leading up to this, I was like, I don't know that I want to read a Carnage book. I mean, I already went into Venom, and I really enjoyed the Venom book, but I was like, I don't know if I need to get even further into this. Mm-hmm. But it was like, it's Donny Cates, and Kevin gave it a good thought. I'll pick it up and I'll read it. And I gotta say, I was very impressed with it. I thought it was very good. And I do like the inclusion of Spider-Man, bringing him back into it and having him be a part of the whole thing too. But
what'd you think of how he wrote him?
How he wrote Spider-Man?
Yeah.
I liked how he wrote Spider-Man.
I thought it was really good, man.
I would love to see Cates take over a book, the Spider-Book.
When they first meet, like when Eddie first comes to him with Dylan, to Spidey, Dylan goes, menace. And he just like walks away from the diner table and he goes, it would be your kid. It's so good. Wow. And I love how like in the middle of this diner, like robbers come to like rob the place. And they both get ready, and they're like, "Are you gonna get this? No. By all means, no. Go ahead, you go."
Oh God!
So then Spidey's like, "Okay, fine." But he's talking to Eddie about like, "Okay, you need to answer," and he's just like webbing and like kicking the robbers, but he's still like talking to Eddie, like completely nonchalantly taking them down.
To the point to when he finally webs up the criminals, he's like, "Look, I'm usually more." When the cops show up, tell them I was way more funny than I was right now.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's really good. Wow, this sounds like a lot happened in this book.
It does, but
it's a big book. It's broken into like 6 chapters.
Yeah, but it didn't feel that way. You read it pretty quickly.
Wow.
And the thing, and oh shit, I had a point. Now I lost it. Oh, I remember now. The thing that I think is interesting is that Donny Cates really has a talent for pulling in what he needs. Like when I completely forgot. I mean, I loved the Red Goblin storyline, but at no point did I think Norman was going to pop into this story. And then at the end, he does.
And nonetheless, demented Norman.
Yeah.
Like, it was really creepy.
So I really enjoyed it. I recommend this book too. I think it's
yeah.
a fucking great read. So if you're not on Absolute Carnage, I say jump on. My book this week, I got to be honest, because I figured we'd all just talk about Powers of X anyway. I decided to do something else, and I wrote down Silver Surfer Black 2 or 3 rather before I read it, and because I figured it's not a bad issue, but not a lot happens in it, so it's not something that I'm like, oh Jesus, it was such a great issue. It was good. It's very, and I'm still digging the art. The art is still amazing in this book.
It's trippy, man. I love it. It's so psychedelic. It looks like Grateful Dead.
Yeah, it really does. But this book is basically Silver Surfer coming to terms with what is happening and what has happened to him. Because the whole book starts off with a dream where he says, I was fine. The last happy thought I remember was on Zenla, which is his home planet. And he's there with his girlfriend or wife, I guess Shalabel, and they're in bed together and they're talking. And then all of a sudden there's a murmur, and then they talk about because Shalabel's pregnant, and Surfer wants to. Well, it's not Surfer. It's Norrin Radd.
Norrin Radd.
Yeah, he wants to have a kid, and she's kind of like, "You sure you want to bring a child into this world?" He's like, "Well, I think we should." And then there's destruction happening, and you think, oh, it's Galactus showing up, because the whole thing was that Galactus showed up to the planet and that he became the Herald. But no, when they go outside, it's actually the Surfer is the one that has shown up, and he's destroying the planet. And they're watching this happen, and then at the end of it, he screams out, and he's like, "I will, if you spare this planet, I will give you," and then the world just destroys itself. And then Surfer wakes up, and he realizes, he's like, I've always been the harbinger of death, because when I show up, it means that Galactus is not far behind.
Right.
So
it was cool, man.
It was really good, but he's talking to Ego, the living planet, because Ego was the one that saved him out of the black hole. He's still missing some of his power cosmic, because his whole arm is black now.
Yeah, I love that.
It's
by issue
up, right?
Yeah, by issue 3, I love how it's not like any attention is brought to it. It's just the art just keeps showing it, consuming him more and more.
Yeah. And
I love it, man. I think it's so cool and trippy.
So he's having a conversation with Ego, but Ego's having a problem, because Ego has something crash landed into Ego not long ago, and it's killing him. So Surfer is trying to find a way to defeat Null, and he knows he wants to have Ego help him. But Ego's kind of being like, I don't know. And he's like, well, what if I cure you? If I cure you, will you help me? And Ego says, yes. But you will never be able to survive my core. It's too powerful. It's like, I've survived worse. But I love that. But he's used to having the power cosmic protect him. It's not anymore. It's starting to flake away. So he goes into the planet and he starts getting deeper. He's like, normally this wouldn't have affected me. I wouldn't even feel this. But now with my arm being the way it is, it's kind of warm.
I love it, man.
And then he gets all the way down to the center of the planet, to the core, and what's there is what did they call it? It was
it's the engine.
Yeah, it was a gestation box for Galactus.
Oh,
whoa! Yeah. So presumably, Ego is serving as an incubator for Galactus.
Wow.
Super strange.
And that was the whole book. It was a great read. I mean, there was a lot of
art.
Yeah, it was a lot of thought-provoking things in the book, but when you get down to it, it was basically just Surfer coming to terms with who he is, and then deciding to help Ego, and then finding out Galactus's gestation box is at the center of it.
Now, what do we think about that ending, Justin? Because that ending made me question. I'm like, is this Galactus reborn, or is this Galactus like beginning? I'm like, are we time traveling?
Well, yeah, that's the thing. Because remember, the null stuff happened long in the past, but you didn't find that out until the second issue.
Right, that's what made it even more confusing in this issue.
Galactus.
Because that's could be what it is. This gestation box could be what happened when. Because you know the story of how Galactus became Galactus?
No, I actually don't.
No.
Okay, so the story of how Galactus was actually a character named Galen. Okay, so there's, I think we're on the 4th universe now, maybe. There were universes before ours. Okay, when the universe hits entropy and starts to die, it goes into itself and it explodes and forms the new universe. Galen is the last survivor of the last universe. So he actually existed well before our time even started. When he made it through the explosion, it changed him into Galactus, the World Devourer. That's where he comes from. That's his origin. Okay? There are different interpretations of how that happened. Up to and including, if you read The Ultimates, which was a great book during when they tried to redo everything. The Ultimates was Black Panther, Captain Marvel, America for what's her name? Miss America, I think her name is. Mm-hmm. One of the. Oh God, it's so many great people on. It was a great book, and in the book, the first arc of the book was they changed Galactus from a world devourer into a life bringer. And the whole
and he's gold.
Yeah, the whole thing was that he was supposed to go through this gestation, and he didn't complete, and he became a world devourer. If he had completed his gestation, he would have actually been the one that brings life to the universe, like creates planets and creates all these other things. But he didn't make it that far. So that's what the Ultimates did, was they actually pushed his gestation over the edge, and he became Lifebringer for I don't know, 2 or 3 issues. It was great. It was a great storyline. It was a great concept. Al Ewing wrote the book. It was it was a great book. Kenneth Rocafort was the artist. Beautiful art.
Yeah,
Beautiful
art.
It's kind of interesting that they have the gestation again. And Silver Surfer's there. Hey.
Yeah, so that's the idea, is that maybe this is the beginning of Galactus. Because we don't know when, because like I said, you read the whole first book, or at least I read the whole first book. I didn't realize that happened at the beginning of time until the second book when they told you. Because at the first book, he falls into a black hole.
Right, which is picking up from the ending of Guardians.
Yeah.
So that's why that's why this whole time I'm like, but what the fuck is happening each issue of this book?
Well, I think that this book is meant to be trippy in more ways than just individually.
I took it as it took upon a page from that quantum theory that a black hole, it could also be a wormhole. Mm-hmm. You could time travel. So that's how I've taken it so far, because how is he losing the cosmic power and then literally time traveled and then viewing the beginning of Galactus, but Silver Surfer is already the Herald, or no longer the Herald.
It's a paradox.
Right, it's a very strange paradox.
Well, this could also be playing into the whole idea of the Fallen One. Because because the Fallen One had existed for a long time, this could be that Surfer actually fell through a black hole, went back to the beginning of time, lost the power cosmic, became the Fallen One, and that's why there's a regular Silver Surfer too. That's why they both exist.
And what you were to believe that he doesn't participate in the actions of time his time?
Maybe at the end of Silver Surfer Black, another black hole spits him out ahead of his current timeline, or ahead of the current time.
I'd be okay with that. And then he comes across Thanos,
and that's when he starts his run as the Fallen.
I'm okay with this.
I don't know about you, but at the end of all this, I want Donny Cates to tell the story of how the Fallen One became worthy of that hammer.
Oh yeah,
that's what I want.
Yeah,
because that was such a great reveal in that book.
Yeah, and Thanos wins.
When they just kept referring to him as the Fallen One, and then you found out, it's the Surfer, and he's got the hammer with him, and it's like, it took me this long to become worthy, and it's like, I want that story. I want to know how the Surfer decided that this is what I need to do.
Especially if it's within canon, how was there a Mjolnir in that time? If it was just destroyed, not just so, but it's been destroyed in the current time.
But it was remade in the current time.
But that's not the same Mjolnir, is it? Like
So I think it's
the
a
store
Mjolnir.
call it Mjolnir?
Yeah, it's called
Okay.
it, and it has the whole logo for it and everything.
Because the
He remakes Mjolnir.
yeah, because the enchantment is still on it because they changed it. It wasn't who.
Yeah, they rewarded it.
Yeah, so it's now gender neutral
Mm-hmm.
because it used to be he will possess the power of Thor. Now it's they will possess the power.
Yeah. I like it.
I dig it.
And that was what again?
Silver Surfer Black number 3.
Number 3. Yeah. Yeah, I fixed it in our
Yeah,
doc.
I know I read that.
Joe, did you read anything besides Powers?
Just powers.
Good. So we can get to it. Because I know.
I'll be honest, don't hate me for this. I read it that Wednesday when it came out,
Me too.
and I don't remember everything.
I don't remember a whole lot either.
Okay, good. I don't know.
I don't. Here's the thing: not to take away from his writing, but I think the last 2 books have just been so good that this was a lull. This was like, okay,
House
I love,
X too.
but that opening scene was amazing.
Yeah, the meeting between Xavier, because that was what I liked the most about the book was Xavier and Moira showing up in Year Zero or in the now. Xavier,
No, that's a den.
That's a okay.
It's the den.
That's a den.
now.
You're right. That's before. Moira and Xavier show up at Magneto's. What is it?
House M.
Yeah, no, but they call it something else.
His area?
Yeah.
House M.
All right. Okay. House of M. I don't. I guess so.
Yeah.
I thought it was. No, I thought it was like another
Island M
Island M. That's what.
Okay.
It was. Yeah.
and the Bermuda Triangle.
That's right. That's right.
Of course it is.
Yeah.
Of course,
it is.
where magnetism goes freaky.
Right.
and
I was
everything.
gonna say.
So they show up and they're giving their speech to Magneto on why he should join them. And Magneto is still the Magneto that's like, look, you Xavier, your and I ideas have parted ways a long time ago.
Yeah, because it's the purple and red suit.
Mhm.
I love the way it looks. It shows him
Yeah.
just imposing.
Yeah, I
menacing
love how you never
shadows.
see his face. Right, it's all shadows.
I love it.
I was thinking about this when I read it too. It was like, do you think Magneto gets up every day and puts that thing on and just goes, I'm just gonna wear this all day? No robe,
I mean-
no nothing. Just like, these are my
But
clothes.
he's big as fuck for a Holocaust survivor. I wonder if he just like sleeps working out.
He's a Bowflex.
He has a Bowflex. Magneto owns a Bowflex. That is the episode.
That's the title.
Write that down, please. Don't forget.
Yeah.
So and then, Magneto's giving his same things like we parted ways, we don't have the same thoughts, you want to do your one way, and then Xavier hits him with we're both wrong. We have to find a new way to do it.
Right.
And then that's when they introduce Moira, and he's like, let me show you her thoughts,
Right.
and then
Our futures.
and you'll understand. And of course, Magneto being Magneto, he's like, how do I know this isn't a trick? And he's like, well, yeah, please just once trust me.
Right.
Says that.
Beautiful line.
So he takes off the helmet and he shows Magneto all of Moira's lives.
Right.
And then that seemingly convinces him,
And all their
they
defeats.
need, they need to.
I
work
love
together.
how he points that out, Joe. Magneto's like, how? Like all of my failures.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And that's like, yo, that's crazy. Because that must be overwhelming for someone like him, like egotistical, but
Right.
at the same time, like he's a leader. You get me? Like he's an activist. And he's seen every possible outcome fail.
Mhm.
To me, that's utterly
It breaks him.
right. That has to break
It
someone.
has to.
Yeah.
But imagine when Moira first showed Professor X.
Oh, it broke him.
He barely flinched. At least in the panels,
No.
he just kind of like looked at her like, "Oh,
Yeah,
Right.
that's all he said was, "Oh,
yeah."
Yeah, but he
So-
knew, okay, gotta go talk to her.
But it didn't break him like it did Magneto. Magneto, you see him visibly like almost in pain,
yeah."
that's true.
like tormented.
Mhm.
I guess because of the ego, it kind of
Right.
broke him a bit more than Xavier, who's more like, "I want something better," but not about the ego.
Well, you also, I think one of the things you have to remember about a character like a Magneto is Magneto, he does all these things and he believes in what he does, but
Right.
there's a shred of humanity in Magneto that's still like, look, it's a means to an end. I'm doing all these things because I'm trying to get to this one goal.
Right.
And then when he's being told all these things, all these bad things you've been doing, and it still is for nothing.
Right.
I mean,
It
that's
still
gotta
goes
break
to
him.
shit. And no matter how you approach it, because he's seen every life of Moira, and it's all his different approaches to it.
including the one where she went and joined him
Right.
to form the House of M, and it still failed.
Mhm.
Where they just cannot win against the humans alone. They
Right.
have to work together.
So the means didn't justify the end and
No.
all his failures. Oof.
So
But I love how he tells him, he's like, all right, like exactly to your point, Justin, he's like, fine, we'll join, but know this: at any point where you falter, I will be there to tell you.
Well, yeah, but I thought it was more like at any, the way you're saying it, like any point you falter, I will be there, but I will fulfill what you won't do.
Right.
Yes,
And then he says, "I won't have it any other way."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I love that handshake, bro.
Yeah.
That handshake, like,
It's amazing.
To me, that's the moment I had to put, of course, not the book, but I'm reading on my iPad. I had to put it down, and I was like, dude, wow.
Mm-hmm.
What a moment, man.
It's very powerful stuff. I mean, Hickman is just destroying this. I mean, he's just fucking destroying this.
It's awesome.
So we skip to the year 10, and then in the year 10...
Which is the now. That's the now.
That's the now. And they're working together. They're on Krakoa, but they're finding out about Mystique, what Mystique took, which is the Master Mold.
The Master Mother.
Yeah, which is the facility near the sun that they're using to build other Sentinels. And they're saying that this is the beginning. They think this is the beginning of Nimrod. They're thinking this is where Nimrod comes into it. So they have knowledge of, they have Moira's knowledge of the future, of what happens, because they know that Nimrod, Moira's lived these lives. So she knows at a certain point Nimrod's going to show up and it's going to be their ultimate.
I was making a connection to, and I think it was Powers 1, where they show you what Mystique was stealing. He has the infographic of all the items from damage control. The anvil of the sun, the solar anvil, is what you use to make things, and it's near the sun. So that's the code name for it. For
what this is.
Yeah, yeah. I'm piecing together the infographics.
It's just funny how Hickman tells us stuff early, and then we make the connections later.
Yeah, he's just good at what he does.
Yeah, like at some other comic book Nation podcast, they talked about how like in like issue 1 of House, Moira is on these like cathedral looking painting things, and you see the Cardinal, who's from like the 100th year. What was the other one? The Rasputin.
Yeah.
And what was the third one?
Wasn't the third one the one that's taken?
The Black Brain one?
No, I think it's the plant one. So it's we get to who the plant one is in this issue. Which is crazy because so I'm like, bro, who is that? I'm like, why is there like a Groot?
But you find out who it is, and you're like, oh, all right.
Yeah.
So they're coming up with a plan because they figure they have to destroy it because they think this is where the Nimrod shows up.
Right.
Scott steps in. He's a little weary about it, but ultimately he's like, look, if it's got to be done, it's got to be done.
I love it, bro. That's why he's my favorite fucking character, man. I love Cyclops.
So he's not just a Boy Scout.
Right, but he'll do what needs to be, especially in this like past like decade. That character has gone to such a legendary fucking arc for me. Man, and he will do it. He's the perfect middle between Magneto and Xavier.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like he will do everything for humankind, but there is still a line. There is still more humanity.
Well, that's also what made it so heartbreaking about him joining the other side.
Yes. But we're not here to talk about that. Thank God.
Yeah.
So now we skip to year 100. Sorry, I made it. Now we skip to year 100, and in year 100, we find out one little piece of information that we didn't know before.
Well, no, a lot.
Yeah, but this I think is very important. Apocalypse is running the show.
That's fucking crazy. I lost my eye. That's another moment. I had to put the iPad down. I was like, get the fuck out of here, Hickman.
He made it cool that Wolverine was there.
He made a part, and in the brown
But I don't
suit.
think it's Wolverine. I think it's a clone. I think it's a rebirth.
Oh, you broke me. Dang.
No, that's for sure because it's 100 years, and especially the thing with Magneto.
Right.
It's like, 100 years from now, Magneto's still around, the fucking Holocaust survivor. That's like 80 in the beginning of it.
The Bowflex.
He's got the Bowflex is also the fountain of time.
Right.
The fountain of youth.
It's the enchanted Asgardian Bowflex. That's what it is.
But yeah, so then we find out the thing in the 100-year thing. In the 100-year, what Rasputin, Cardinal, and Silo Bell stole, the one with the black brain, what they stole was an indexer to what they need.
Right.
Well, the whole thing was that a machine doesn't file things like a human would.
Right.
A machine files things in order. So whatever they need to find something, they have to go through a whole bunch of files to find it. It's not going to be exactly where they think. It's not going to be the same spot.
Because it's a lot of data per day. Yeah. And they literally save everything per day.
So they have to find an index to find what they're looking for. and that's what they've stolen. And that's when you find out Apocalypse is the one that's running he's the one leading on this one, and that was a pretty big revelation.
But I like Wolverine calls it out. It's like we needed Silo Bell so we could go back there.
Oh yeah, because she hid them
and hid them because of the black brain could help them hide from the machines like radars and whatnot. But he's like, now we have to fight our way to there, fight our way to stick there in order to get what we need, and fight our way back out.
And then Puppet Apocalypse says, he's like, yes, but I will be leading you this time.
Yeah. So, and Apocalypse looks so badass. I was dude.
And then it skips to the year 1000.
This explanation blew my fucking mind.
Yeah. In the year 1000, Nimrod is now the librarian.
Right.
And from what I'm gathering is that all these are all mutants, and they're looking for the next evolution.
Yeah.
Okay. So they've sent out a signal to get the attraction to attract somebody to help them. And who shows up but the Phalanx?
Yeah.
And the Phalanx show up and they're like, we heard your signal. What do you want? And their only word, ascension. So, and that's where the book ends. It's just them. And then you get an explanation about the Phalanx and everything.
Right.
And, how there are some that are just created to serve the Phalanx, but they don't know that they're created to serve the Phalanx.
Technarchy.
Yeah. So
I love that. It's like evolutions of an AI, and the Phalanx is the almost that's like peak evolution.
Yeah. They absorb and add to their own collective.
I think there's two different theories, of course Reddit going crazy and then other Marvel forums. There's two theories on the identity of that blue figure that's with the Nimrod, the tiny Nimrod at the 1000 year of the Ascension year.
Mm-hmm.
People are saying that that's a rebirth of Apocalypse. Other people are saying that is the most elongated life of Moira. That she's probably like evolved physical form and whatnot and looks like that. I think that's fucking crazy because to me it definitely looks childlike.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I'm more in the camp of the theory that I think it's an apocalypse rebirth.
That'd be interesting because that's all he ever wanted.
Because that's what he looks like. It looks like a young Apocalypse with the blue in the face. Like it looks like.
But I think it looks kind of feminine.
Could be gender neutral. Yeah.
I think they're neutral.
Doesn't have to be a male reproduction or resurrection. It could be,
True.
Yeah. Could just be the ideas and the memories, just like Moira.
Mm-hmm.
And then I don't know if you noticed the city letterings looks like an evolved version of the mutant language that we just got in these books. Yeah, in the Krakoan books. Oh, and that's Justin. You have to tell us about the plant guy.
Oh, the plant guy. That's Krakoa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With Cypher.
With Cypher, I didn't catch that.
Yeah. They're saying that the previous host of this body could talk to all things.
Oh, that's right. You did say that.
And it's like, the way I can gather is that it's Krakoa either mutated with or bonded with Cypher.
Well, the last person to bond with Cypher was Warlock, and Warlock was the Phalanx.
Oh crap!
It became Douglock.
Okay. That's crazy. That has to have happened in New Mutants.
Yeah, that's what happened.
Okay.
Well, because
that's where Phalanx was. That's where Warlock was.
Doug Ramsey was Cypher. Doug Ramsey died during the Mutants. Warlock came in during the Phalanx Covenant, and then Warlock stayed and became part of something. I don't remember what. And then eventually they were bonded into one, and they became Douglock. And that was it was kind of weird.
So remember that revelation that it was Warlock that was controlling the Danger Room. Damn, whose run was that? Was that Astonishing?
No. I don't remember.
Yeah, damn, that was so long ago. And then the other reveal is the blue guy, and I'm like, bro, that looks like Zorn. And then they call him by name as Zorn. Mm-hmm. And I was like, wait, which fucking version of Zorn is this?
Yeah.
Right, Joe?
Right, could be
the twin.
Twin, right.
The one that's actually Magneto, but not Magneto, because Magneto's there in the team in his green suit.
Right.
Which it's funny how at first I wasn't feeling the green suit Magneto, but then now it grew on me. I'm like, you know what? It looks hard. It looks badass.
I don't want the green suit.
You don't like it, George?
Green suit.
No.
It doesn't accentuate. It doesn't his Bowflex. It doesn't accentuate his Bowflex body like the red and purple.
Nah, the white suit.
I love the white suit, dude. I love the white suit. That literally looks like it screams like Supreme Leader of something.
No, that screams egotistical maniac.
Yeah, that's why.
I mean, that's what he is.
I mean, yeah,
He's the one that dubbed mutant kind
the new gods,
Homo Superior.
Homo
Yeah.
Superior. That's right.
And people really like that white suit because I'm seeing more and more statues pop up with that white
Yeah.
suit.
Really?
Yeah. It's true.
Because I mean, Magneto's been in that red suit
Forever, yeah.
and the fact that they changed him and nobody's like, no, he's got to go back to the red suit is amazing. Because usually when you change somebody's costume,
Oh,
people
yeah.
lose it, especially in a kind of character like Magneto.
Like Cyclops, all the time they've changed his costumes.
Yeah, but see, Cyclops' costume's kind of been an evolution.
Right.
So I think the most radical thing they ever did with Cyclops was make his visor the X, which
Yeah.
I always thought was really cool.
That was interesting.
It was awesome, but it made him look menacing. It looked intimidating.
Yeah.
So I understand why they kind of kept the concept for the suit and then made the head design like the Astonishing X-Men run,
Right.
Yeah.
where it's the visor, but then his head still looks round.
But the other thing is too the most.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it was like a condom head.
The most radical thing they did with him before that was just show his hair.
Yeah.
Because remember when he was on the original X-Men, he had the cap,
Yeah.
or he had the
X Factor.
and the X Factor and everything. And then when Jim Lee got a hold of him, he's like, "Yeah, let's let the hair flow." So he gave him the hair, and then they put him back in the cap when they made him evil again.
Right.
So
No, even before that, since Astonishing.
Right.
oh yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. Yeah,
And that's what Wolverine started calling him Slim.
Right.
no, he called him Slim for a long time.
Well, to me, I took it way more like it was more of an insult because of the suit.
No, the Slim was because it's because he shoots, and Slim was always a cowboy slang thing for shoots. It's for
I actually
shooting.
never got that reference.
Yeah.
Justin's that old. He remembers the Cowboys.
Yeah,
Wow.
I was one.
Whoa.
Justin needs
Wow.
the enchanted Bowflex that Magneto has.
Yeah.
Where do you think the idea came from? Justin has it.
Yes. So
How is Lex? It's great.
yes.
It's
so
so-
if
it's so good.
you have somehow not been reading this X-Men run, you don't even like X-Men.
You still need to read.
You still need to be reading this book because even if you don't like X-Men, I guarantee you're going to love this book. I mean, there's just no way.
So, funny story. Vinny the Sky Bison, regular
Friend of the show.
friend of the show. He actually, we got him to start reading it, me and Kevin, and he normally reads things like he'll read 50 issues in a day of whatever he's. Yeah, he reads quick and he reads a lot. He only read 2 issues of House of X1, Powers 1, and he had to call me, and it's like on Saturday, and he was like, he because I usually don't pick up the phone. He
We
texted me.
established why.
Yeah, he texted me 3 times and called me. He's like, dude, I really need to talk about this. Someone help me.
Yeah,
So
no, I get it.
I picked up and I was like, okay, talk to me. He asked me questions and I was like, I really can't answer most of these until you catch up.
Right.
It's just,
And even
No.
then, I read other ones that like, we don't even know the answers to those.
yeah, a lot of them
facts.
I didn't know the answers to. Some of them was just like insignificant. It's like, oh, do we find out what's going on with the base by the sun? I'm like, not really.
Yeah, we haven't learned that much more.
Yeah.
Oh, I hate when people do that when they're like, "Tell me how that ends." I don't even know how it ends. Stop asking.
Yeah.
Just read the damn books. But he needed to unload. I get it.
No, I understand that because when I read Powers of X #1, I was like, thankfully I read it like 2 days before we did the show, so I was like, okay, we're gonna go in. But I read House of X #3 or number
House
2.
of X 2.
Yeah, House of X 2 the day after it came out.
Yeah.
And I was like, I have to wait a whole week to talk about this book.
I
Yeah.
read it the same day. I wanted to murder myself.
Oh
Yeah.
my god! Because we were talking, I was trying to get into it
Oh,
on the
no.
chat. No, you didn't.
That's the one I read late.
Yeah,
Yes.
because
Right.
I was trying to get into a chat with these guys, and I said something. He's like, "No, George hasn't read
Right.
it yet." I'm like,
Yeah.
"Guys, son of a
Because
bitch."
of all issues, it was the Moira reveal. So that's why I was like, wait, no, shut up. George is not looking at the chat yet. And he hasn't read it.
It was
I deleted 3 messages.
Yeah, I
I was
remember
like,
that.
fuck.
Mhm.
and it was one of the ones I said it's going to be a big deal because it's in red,
Yeah,
and I waited to read it. Yeah,
yeah. These
that's what
are these books. I don't. There's no way to describe them. I mean, they're just great read. I mean, I say that even if you don't like the X-Men, read this book. It's
Yeah.
worth the fucking read.
It is. It really is. It's become like event reading where other people are like,
Yes.
it's crazy to see like a community come together again and like be theorizing again.
the X-Men.
For the X-Men. I haven't seen that in so
Exactly.
long.
I haven't been interested in the X-Men in
Exactly.
a very long time.
No,
Right.
it's true. because it's been not good
Yeah.
for a long time.
So it's cool, man. He's essentially made them relevant again.
Yes, he has.
Yeah,
No,
and we
he
kept
has.
trying to come back to him too. We kept
Yeah.
thinking, please put him, at least give him something, And it's just every time it would start off nice maybe, and then it would just take a
like
left
6
turn.
issues. After 6 issues,
it was just like, somebody just lost their
all right,
momentum
they're
on
gonna
this
fight the
book.
Inhumans. They're fighting. This went to shit. They're fighting the Avengers. Oh, went to shit.
So now that we've sucked off Powers of X, I think we're going to move on from comics now. We'll go into some TV news. I assume this the Haunt of series is your update, Kevin, because I don't care about.
I guess no one else saw it, Joe.
I have no idea what it is.
Saw what?
The Haunting of Hill House.
Oh, season 1. Me and Nicole are gonna start this weekend. Actually,
Okay, it's great.
Netflix. Season 2.
So now season 2 is coming out.
Okay.
They've already confirmed that it will be an anthology thing. So
Okay.
in the same vein as like American Horror Story, which is funny because I'm not a fan of. I'm not a fan of that like creepy porn. That's what I call it, creepy porn.
The first seasons were actually really good on American Horror Story.
Yeah, but that first season had that whole thing with the fucking latex.
Those were in
chicken.
for it.
Yeah, well, no, I know, but I'm just saying that was what everybody talked about was that latex chicken.
Yeah. So what I would give mad props to Haunting of Hill House is that it's one of the most dramatically, emotionally, and cleverly written show.
I remember you talking about it.
Because it's literally story and characterizations over the horror, and then the horror is amazing because it makes you care about the characters first. So then when they're scared or in a horrifying fucking situation, which is really bad, you really care about the fucking characters. So then now season 2, they're moving away from that same house. So Joe, this is not spoilery because
No, it's fine.
you could see or watch season 1 and it'd be fine with it. I'm trying to get the name of what they're calling it. Oh, The Haunting of Bly Manor. Bly or Blay?
Mm-hmm.
Bly, Bly.
Live. Okay.
Yeah, so The Haunting of Bly Manor. And they're saying that it will go a little like, it'll be the same premise of like family haunted house, but different family, different setting, different house. And they're saying that they're going to up the scares and really up the ante with characterizations, which to me was phenomenal in the first season. The first season I loved and really felt heartbroken for one of the twins of the children, the boy, because it's a boy and a girl. The boy grows up to be a heroin addict,
Okay.
and I thought he had the most fucking tragic character journey in season 1, and it's amazing. So I can't wait for Haunting of Bly Manor, season 2 of Haunting of, or whatever they're calling this. It's the same showrunner and writer of Mike Flanagan, which is great. So I'm gonna be there and watch it again. It's really hard to get like good horror, especially series.
Yeah.
So this is gonna be cool.
This weekend, first season. So
Everyone always says, especially the first season, it's the Storm episode.
okay.
I think that's episode 5.
Right.
And so it's easy because that's like halfway into the season. It's 10 episodes. By the time you get to the Storm, you're glued.
Okay.
Even when I think I saw the Storm episode and it was like broad daylight and I was fucking frightened.
Okay.
It was crazy. But then now that I set that update, we could say here that Emir the Ghost Hunter is back.
How's it going, guys?
Late again.
He's on time.
He's on time.
He's on time for his own show. He comes in.
There you go.
He doesn't do the comic stuff, so he comes in when he knows.
He's like a wizard. He's never on time or late. He arrives exactly when he wants to.
Why a wizard?
You didn't see Lord of the
You're
Rings?
not. Yeah, he's in fantasy.
But I don't recall that.
Yeah.
Like Gandalf said that?
Yeah, he said that.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean the main wizard in the Lord of the Rings. Murder me.
It could be
I
Sauron.
think
Oh God. Yeah, Sauron would say that totally. Yeah, I can totally see him saying that. God.
Well, Amir, get your birthday cake in the fridge on the podcast.
Cake.
Hey.
You already know which one it is the play with the aluminum foil.
There you go.
I heard since it's your birthday, you got to give most of it to us.
No.
Nah, he can do whatever he wants.
Good luck.
Yeah, how's it feel? How'd it feel to be 40?
Pretty good. Balls are sagging.
40. Now he needs
Well,
Magneto's Bowflex.
Yeah, and he's
Yeah, you need the enchanted
oh,
Bowflex.
he missed the enchanted
The enchanted
Bowflex.
Asgardian Bowflex.
Where Emir knows, you've seen Magneto how like he looks hulking and swole, but he's a Holocaust survivor. So it's like, dude, how is he that big? And Joe said like he's got like an enchanted Bowflex that keeps him young for so
He
long.
lifts iron in more than one way.
It's
I love
ironic because Bowflexes are rubber and
Right.
he can't lift it. He's got
I mean, that's the only thing he could really work out with.
Right, right.
His powers.
Right, because if it's metal, he'll cheat.
Yeah, hey,
That's
Magneto's
true.
definitely a cheater. 100%. I wouldn't play any game involving metal with
I mean,
pinball. That man cheats at pinball, I bet.
I'm pretty sure he can spot himself.
Yeah.
I mean,
So for the listeners, what is it? What is your birthday cake?
Tres leche, which is fire as shit. Made by his wife, he. And
She ain't listening, but huge props.
yeah,
I know she'll never listen. That's all I was gonna be like. I should give her a shout out. She's never gonna listen to this.
no, it's like I'm not even a sweet tooth, but this is the thing.
she'll never listen, so she won't notice the girl here in the corner.
God damn it! Somehow she knows. She just like a meerkat hears that.
She pops
I
up.
don't usually listen to your show, but for some reason I thought I should listen to episode 23.
Yeah.
And
I don't know
John said
why.
there's some chicken
At
every
this particular
Wednesday.
minute,
And I fast forwarded to timestamp 46 minutes in, and I just a hunch.
Yeah, just clear there now. It's George in a dress.
why me?
that I think somehow that would be worse.
Because it raises more questions.
Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely raises more
You spend
questions.
a lot of time with George. I don't know about that. So moving on from the haunting of Hill House, me and Joe have got some exciting news this week. Not that we produced it, but we're just really excited
Listen.
about it.
I cried.
I was.
You cried
I
at this
was-
news?
Fuck yes.
Wow.
That's how much.
I mean, it's not. It's to be believed.
fucking awesome.
Okay.
Go.
So Masters of the Universe is returning to Netflix. He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. Produced by Kevin Smith and his writing partner Mark Bernardin.
Yep.
Nice.
And then also
Is this going to be in a live action or an
no,
animated?
an animated. It's
The
gonna be actually they call
animation
it
from the from Castlevania. The Castlevania people.
Oh.
Castlevania
Yeah.
people are doing
They
it.
did
Wow.
good work.
So
Yeah.
super animated.
They're saying they
That's
call
what I
it they call it the Masters of the Universe anime is what they're calling it.
Ooh, Kevin's not gonna watch it.
Nope.
Well, I wouldn't expect
But I'll
you
wait
to
for
watch
Joe. Well, I was going to say I'll wait for Joe, but Joe's going to love it no matter what.
Well, I was gonna say you wouldn't watch
Yeah.
it because again, magic,
True.
fantasy. It's really not up your alley.
It's a little sci-fi too.
Yeah, but no, there's a lot of because
It's sci-fi.
magic. Yeah, it's a science fiction stuff in a world of magic.
Right, and technology.
Because they have because it's characters like Skeletor and the Sorceress who have magic, but they fly around on like machines.
Technology.
Remember what Harloff keeps saying? Lord of the Rings meets
Meets
Star
Star
Wars.
Wars.
That's Masters.
And then you have a guy who has a sword that is
Mhm.
becomes the most powerful man in the universe.
Right.
Yeah, so
Go with a bowl
And
cut.
a badass type.
with a bowl cut.
And he doesn't need the Bowflex.
No, he's got the sword.
He's got the sword.
But this is actually what makes this interesting is this is actually going to pick up where
Right.
the original Masters of the Universe cartoons, not the one they redid, the original '80s Mattel.
Which I like
Wow.
the 2001. I like the 2001
Yeah,
better,
that was
for me.
interesting. Yeah,
But,
but
I'm fine.
this
Where
is
can you find that now? Where can you
It's
stream
probably
that?
YouTube. Netflix has it.
Netflix. Yeah, Netflix has. it.
Netflix has it.
Netflix has the 2001?
I don't
Oh
think-
no, not the
80s
newest
one.
ones. Yeah,
The more
So where? That's what I'm asking.
Oh,
Because
it's
Joe,
on
you said
YouTube. I'll
that
send
you
you
like the
something.
2001 more.
it's on YouTube, and you'll like it.
Okay, cool.
I'll send you the first episode.
but this is going to pick up right where that show left off. And
The
it's
80s
actually,
one.
Yeah,
Right.
and it's going to tie in, or it's going to tie up loose ends from the original cartoon.
That's funny.
Did you read the synopsis?
Well, I'm
right?
going to read it now.
Okay, go ahead.
So, after a ferocious final battle forever fractures Eternia, it's up to Tila to solve the mystery of the missing Sword of Power in a race against time to prevent the end of the universe. Her journey will uncover the secrets of Grayskull at last. This is the epic He-Man and the Masters of the Universe saga that has been waiting for 35 years to see.
Right.
Wow.
So, the idea is that I'm wondering about voice talent because since this is picking up from the 80s cartoon,
Well, I mean,
He-Man's still alive. Skeletor's still alive.
I don't think they're gonna use them.
Just because they're
I don't
alive, yeah.
either, but
I mean, okay, fine.
Skeletor. They actually did a thing. Who? Oh God. I can't remember. It was on YouTube where they had Alan Oppenheimer, the original voice of Skeletor, and the guy from the 2000 Skeletor playing with their action figures, doing the voices,
Yeah,
That's
I saw
funny.
and it was fucking hilarious. But I thought it'd be neat to kind of bring back that original Skeletor and use him to on the show. I thought maybe he still sounded like Skeletor.
He does, yeah.
I don't know, man. 35 years later, voices sound way different.
Yeah.
No, I agree, but that's why they didn't use the guy who did. They didn't use Frank Welker to be Megatron in the Transformers movie, but they still used Optimus Prime.
Yeah, Peter Cullen.
Yeah.
The thing with voice actors is that they can control their voice. A lot of times, the voices they do for cartoons isn't their actual voice. So even if their personal voice changes, they could probably still get pretty damn close by hearing their old voice to what they did.
Like even Lion King, James Earl Jones.
Yeah, you felt it.
He sounded different.
He did.
Well, he didn't do a voice for Lion King. He did his normal voice.
Oh, I get what you mean.
Yeah,
okay, you mean like a voice actor changing their voice for the character.
See, I had a different opinion. I actually watched it because I finally saw Lion King. My opinion of that was I don't even know that he even went into a booth. I thought they just pulled his dialogue out of the original Lion King because that's what it sounded like to me.
He sounded tired.
I felt it. Yeah.
Yeah, he sounded tired of the other line. It was crazy.
He didn't have the same bass he used.
Yeah.
The difference from enjoying the movie and nitpicking.
Right.
No, to me it wasn't nitpicky because it was the same movie.
I was in a weird place when I saw the movie, so I kind of half watched it, half was thinking of something else. So my whole, like there was things that I was like, oh, this is interesting, and then but by the end of the movie, I was just like, it's the same fucking movie.
Right. It's like I don't know. I left like, why? Why was this made?
And then the thing is like the scene, like they recreated so. I mean, we're getting off on a tangent here, but. They recreated so many scenes from the original movie that you're like, oh, cool, they recreated that scene. But the scenes you wanted, they didn't.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, fair. I waited the whole, because I'm like, oh, they recreated that scene, they recreated that scene. I waited the whole movie for the fucking hula, and they didn't do the hula.
Right.
The hula.
Come on, that's like the funniest fucking scene in the movie, and they didn't do it.
Well, one of the funniest hot take, and it's a friend that Amir and George know, Fernando. He goes, and of course, like with no emotion, he just goes, I'm mad that Rafiki didn't sing Squash Banana. That's it. And mind you, that's it, bro.
Well, the other thing too is like in the original, you had that whole like kung fu scene with Rafiki,
right?
And then that's not in the movie either.
Right, yeah.
It's weird, but a good thing is I liked how they modernized the comedy in Lion King.
Yeah.
Where there's more bantering, and a lot of the banter is like in the background.
Well,
and I'm like, that's a really a really modern comedy thing of like back and forth banter being like a background thing.
Well, I will say this: I did enjoy Donald Glover being Simba more than I enjoyed Matthew Broderick being Simba.
Yeah, but then I thought Beyonce was a waste.
Yeah, I did too. I did.
Yeah,
I was they could have gotten anybody to play that voice. She didn't need to do that. Maybe if they gave her own song,
right?
That would have been something. Okay, I can see the justification, but they didn't even do that. No. They just kind of. And then I actually like Seth Rogen as Pumbaa.
He was amazing. Timon and Pumbaa stole the movie for me again.
But the problem is that even though Seth Rogen is great as Pumbaa, nobody could beat Nathan Lane. No. Not even Billy Eichner. So Billy Eichner does a great job trying to beat Timon, but he's no Nathan Lane. I'm sorry, it just doesn't work.
I still like.
Since I haven't seen the movie, how was what was it? John Oliver as Zazu?
He was good.
Amazing.
He was great, but he starts out stiff. He does.
But he comes
into it. Yeah, he really comes into it. But his first couple of lines in the movie, you could feel forced.
Yeah. But something that like even my own fiance, she goes to me, she goes, I don't remember Mufasa being alive for this long. Bro, and the movie felt like an hour he hadn't died yet. And I was like,
the weirdest hot take ever.
But it was weird because I'm like, it's really cool. Like they get more moments together. So when he does die, it is more emotionally impactful. But at the same time, I'm just like, bro, can we wrap this up already? Like, die already, so we can get to Timon and Pumbaa.
Jesus, Kevin's advocating for Mufasa's death.
Yeah, right. And I mean, Chiwetel did a great job as Scar.
Yeah.
He's no fucking Jeremy Irons.
No, he's not.
No, but he can't sing.
I mean,
bro. They boxed that song.
Yeah, and he can't. Yeah, Jeremy Irons at least said sung pre-prepared. This guy, but I can understand why he didn't. But at the same time, it's like you're going up against royalty here.
Right.
It's really tough to beat Jeremy Irons.
And another hot take, again, not mine, fiance's was. Paul goes to me, she goes, why are they singing Feel the Love Tonight? And it's like broad daylight.
Yeah, right?
Oh, yeah. That was
that's
trash.
terrible.
It's so funny.
You didn't watch it, right? No?
No.
I was like, why? Yeah.
Didn't the Hyenas have a song in the original? Did they do it in the remake?
No, they
did not.
They joined Be Prepared, but they don't.
Yeah,
Well, they also
and it's bad. It's like really bad.
Yeah,
well,
because Juito Ejiofor doesn't sing it.
He's talking it.
he talks things. Yeah.
Yeah, he's just like. Hey,
The only thing he sings is he does actually get up on there and sing "Be Prepared," but that's the only thing. And then you have Whoopi Goldberg, Cheech Marin, and some unnamed person doing the three hyenas.
Pio, I think, from that.
Yeah, but he doesn't speak. He just kind of just laughs crazy. Yeah. They didn't. This one, they all three speak.
Hey, did Ed at least look a little retarded? Did Ed look?
They made him look a little rowdy, but he didn't look like he did.
No, not only that, I love because it's Keegan Michael Key as the other one, and he's the one that keeps getting annoyed by the weird look by Ed, because he keeps getting like really near him, and he goes, "Please, personal space." He's like, "Come on, really?"
Every time Keegan's in one spot, the other one will come up and like stand right next to him, and he's like, "Come on, now I think you're just doing it on purpose."
That was my favorite part. That's why it's like the banter. It was so nonchalant and modern comedy that I'm like, bro, there's no way kids are laughing at these moments.
Maybe. I mean, everyone grows up with new things and they get accustomed to it.
It doesn't have to be understand funny. It could just be funny. I mean, look at the Looney Tunes. They've been doing shit all week about how we just didn't get it when we were kids. All the crap that they showed us in Looney Tunes. And now that we're seeing it, we're going, how did they get away with that shit?
Because nobody cared.
Nobody cared. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, parents are watching it. Parents are like, that's funny. You don't get it, kid.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's like watching Toy Story. Parents almost saw a completely different movie when they saw Toy Story than their kids saw.
Yeah. No, that's another one that the comedy evolved. In Toy Story 4, that's not the same comedy from the original.
Oh, no, not even close.
When like jokes repeating and then coming back for like the reward or like the punchline. I'm like, dude, that's not child comedy from Toy Story 1 and 2. That's modern comedy. So to me, I find that
wasn't
cool.
for the kids anymore.
Right, because that's essentially shit that we grew up with.
Yeah.
Kids now are starting with Toy Story 3 or 4. So they only know Bonnie. They don't even know Andy.
No.
That's funny. We kind of went on our own Lion King tangent.
Still,
So since we're on
comedy
there,
tangent.
right? Since we're on there, might as well just talk about movies now.
I'm excited for Masters.
Yeah, okay. So me and Joe
that's what we're
are.
talking about.
Yeah.
That's right. I forgot.
Because nobody cares about Masters. Masters is like. Well, I'll talk about Masters later. Though. It'll tie it back in.
Okay.
You'll see. I'll tie it back.
But yeah, so me and Joe are excited to bring back He-Man. Always love.
Because I love what Kevin said. He said, "What if Skeletor got really close? We've never seen Skeletor win.
Yeah, he's always.
But
spoiled.
here you're gonna see him."
Oh, you mean Kevin Smith? I was like, I didn't say that.
Oh, sorry, Kevin Smith.
You weren't there. I thought you announced this.
I thought you knew all the Kevins.
No.
Since you and Kevin.
Aren't you part of the Kevin Club?
Yeah.
Come on.
No, I only know Feige.
Oh, okay.
Which I got to call him after this week.
You could do 3.
I do have one honorable mention for TV. I sent it in the chat. I don't know if you guys saw it.
Please,
Kevin does not care about it.
It's DC.
No.
The Carnival Row.
The Carnival Row on Amazon.
I mean, I'm curious about it.
I'm curious about it. I saw the Rotten Tomato score for it.
Yeah.
And it was like a 54. And I was like, oh, man, that's rough.
Oof.
Because that's Orlando Bloom and Cara Delevingne, whatever her
What's it called again?
Carnival Row.
Carnival Row. It's fairies.
It's made to be a Victorian era fantasy murder mystery.
Yeah, well, the
So Tinkerbell's a detective.
No,
she's a friend of the detective.
Oh my god, that's such a hot take. Detective Tinkerbell riding that Detective Pikachu wave.
God,
that's awesome.
No, you want to make it even worse? Apparently, she has a love thing with the main guy, Orlando Bloom,
Peter Pan,
or an affair, something along those lines.
Dude,
some sort of attraction.
Dude, Joe, you have to write that comment. Detective Tinkerbell, murder in Netherlands.
Oh God, no! Can we not?
Somebody killed Speedy.
Y'all just killed this movie. I mean, this show.
Hey, I blame Amazon. That's already
better than the show,
dude. That's already the second fantasy themed or based series that Amazon fails at.
What's the first one?
The Bad Omen or Good Omen
cool.
things.
Good Omens.
They're gonna go pitch.
Good Omens.
Wasn't it supposed to be like one season?
Right, but it opened to horrible reviews.
Oh, it did?
Yeah.
It was really good though. I watched it.
Horrible reviews and really
but
good.
Did you finished it?
I finished it.
And you liked it?
I liked it.
Yeah, it got
Neil
horrible
Gaiman.
reviews.
It's Neil Gaiman. Neil Gaiman doesn't write terrible shit.
I feel like watching
Let's
it.
see. And I want to double check that score too.
Well,
it was what,
one
Good
of the things
Omens?
they were saying. It was Good Omens. Yeah. One of the things they were saying about it though was the fact that they had a petition that people were petitioning
Netflix
to take it down, and it was Amazon that produced it.
Yeah, and
I
then
remember that.
what was Netflix saying there? Amazon was like, "Hey, we'll take down Stranger Things if you take down Good Omens." Netflix.
Yeah,
That's funny.
It's not that bad. 82% Rotten Tomatoes.
Dude, that's really good. What are you talking about?
I don't know. I just remember Twitter that whole weekend was shitting on it.
Yeah, people. Well, the whole thing is because of the subject matter. When you get really religious subject matter, because it gets really religious, talking about the end of times and the son of Satan and shit like that, and demons and angels. When you really get religious like that, the people come out of the woodwork and like, no, this is wrong, but they've never watched it.
But priests can say all day long, "Oh, the world's gonna end August 20th," and people, "Oh shit!" But when a fucking show does it, "Oh no, take it off Netflix."
I'm just here enjoying The Boys.
The Boys is awesome.
Wait, you had a hot take on The Boys, so let's not even go there.
Dude, The Boys was the first Amazon series that everyone loved so much, and they quickly renewed that for a second season.
I thought
it's the most popular Amazon series.
I thought, it did become most popular, but I thought our boy John Krasinski's show before Jack Ryan.
Not everyone saw that because not everyone's into espionage. Who here saw it?
I saw it.
See, Justin didn't. Joe, did you see it?
I don't know Jack Ryan.
I'm waiting for Detective Tinkerbell. I'm waiting for that.
Murder, and
I saw Hunt for Red October, and it was Alec Baldwin was Jack Ryan. And then Harrison Ford was at Jack Ryan for 2 movies, and then Ben Affleck was Jack Ryan, and then Chris Pine was Jack Ryan, and now John Krasinski's Jack Ryan. And it's like, okay, he's
like Batman.
He's like Bond.
He's
James Bond. He's Bond.
But I never got into Jack Ryan stories.
And it's funny you say that. The second season of Jack Ryan, it seems like it's getting into the storyline of the Hunt for Red October.
Oh, really?
They're going to match it, though.
You're right, because it seems matched up because it seems like it's showing Middle East and Russia. And I was like, oh, what's the other storyline then? I don't know.
Maybe they're going to make it, more top of
I'm excited, but I love that stuff. I love CIA dramas.
And John Krasinski is fantastic.
Well, I can't argue with that. John Krasinski is really good. I think he should be in more movies. Hopefully, it's Fantastic Four one day.
And now on to movies, but then since you brought up James Bond.
Okay, so we'll talk about that first. We have a title for the next Bond movie. And you're not excited because you don't really care.
That's George, not excited.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Sure. I'm voting at George.
Yeah.
I am excited. I am a huge Bond fan. I've always been a huge Bond fan. No Time to Die. That's the next James Bond movie. And did you get the synopsis for it? Did you read it?
No, I didn't see a synopsis to the... Yeah, I didn't see the synopsis to the title. Yeah, please.
Give it to us, Justin.
I just know it's Dr. No.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Yeah, well, supposedly Rami Malek might be Dr. No.
Oh, all right, well, that's interesting. No, the whole idea is that this is... Bond is retired, and he's living on a beach in Jamaica. And when his old friend Felix Leiter shows back up to help him find a missing scientist, that brings Bond back into this world. But the coup is the fact that at the beginning of the movie, 007 is going to be a completely different person. It's going to be a woman.
Yeah.
Because
I just think it was like a code. Right, yeah. So they retire his number.
He retires as 007. Well, it's still an active.
Someone else has to
Somebody has to take the mantle of 007.
Yeah. Which is why in Casino Royale we had him taking it up for the first time.
Yeah. So that's that was the thing that they're saying, that the stinger at the beginning of the movie before the credits is going to be a whole mission with M participating, referring to 007, doing this stuff, and then at the end of the stinger you're going to find out it's a woman.
Like, it reminds me of how... Man, what was that espionage movie that recently came out? Had 2 parts. I'm blanking on it. The main character is Iggsy.
Oh, the Kingsman.
Kingsman. How all their things were code names.
Yeah.
From so that's
Galahad, Lancelot. Yeah.
That's how I always saw James Bond, was all code names.
Yeah.
That's why I wanted Idris Elba to be 007.
It's just the wrench in that machine now, and then you haven't seen it, George. Is Skyfall. They legitimized that. Daniel Craig's James Bond, his legal name and real name is Bond. James Bond.
No, 007 is a code.
Yeah.
But James Bond is supposed to be a thing. Because that was the thing when Casino Royale came out, was like they said they were going to reboot it, and they were going to make James Bond and 007 both a code name for people. That's how come there's always a different guy playing it. But no, Skyfall changed that. So unless they're going to retcon that out.
Well, I mean, it could be that you have to get your name legally changed when you become code.
No, it's a part of the plot.
Family. Yeah. You didn't see Skyfall.
No, because I gave up their Quantum of Solace.
Okay, so in Skyfall, you find out about Bond's family because you've only heard snippets. His parents died in a plane accident. and he was raised in an orphanage. Well, in Skyfall, you go to his ancestral home in Ireland, which is Skyfall. That is the name of his ancestral home. And he goes back there at the end of the movie to have the final showdown.
Yeah. It's great.
It's a great movie. Dude, I'm
is,
saying, who was the villain?
Javier Bardem.
Fucking great villain.
Yeah.
There's a scene in that movie where he does something with his face, and oh my god, it's fucking horrifying.
Yeah.
It's horrifying.
It's amazing.
I guess I'll have to watch it before this one.
And then they have like a John Wick-esque type of fight where it's like, it's in the dark with no lights, but it's just the neon lights from the other building beaming through this clear glass. Bro, that fight
it was so cool.
is shot so beautifully.
That's the thing about this movie is this is supposed to be kind of him at the end of his career.
Oh.
Yeah.
Because he's like, he has the moment of him disappearing and then having to be brought back to active duty and, you know.
Kind of like what Daniel Craig wanted to do.
But they also bring in Ralph Fiennes, and Ralph Fiennes plays a great part in this.
Cool.
Because, just watch it.
Yeah, you have to see. But I'm excited for if it's true that Rami Malek is Dr. No.
That would be cool.
I mean, as long as he's a bad guy, I'm excited.
What I just find odd, and correct me if I'm wrong here, Justin, if I remember correctly, Dr. No is supposed to be Jamaican.
Oh, I don't even. I saw Dr. No 40 years ago. I don't even know. 30 years ago.
Yeah, and to me, like, Rami Malek looks, ethnic or something, but he doesn't look Jamaican.
They're not going to make him Jamaican.
There's a small list of Bond movies that I rewatched. Dr. No ain't one of them.
To your point, George, that you're saying that they might change his ethnicity, the behind-the-scenes vignette of this Bond movie of, who's the director? Kerry Fukunaga, is them on location in Jamaica.
Okay, so you're saying that someone who's not Jamaican can go to Jamaica and be like a doctor?
But then why feature a villain infamously known for being Jamaican? Yeah, even original Dr. No doesn't look that Jamaican to me either.
Oh, by the way, though, Jamaica was an English colony, so they can look
there you
at anything.
go. Okay.
That explains that.
My teacher in school was Jamaican.
Always
she was actually friends with Sean Paul. Funny enough.
Always make the white people evil. I'm okay with it.
That's the new 007.
Realistic.
Okay.
Yeah,
Lashana Lynch.
Colonizers.
Captain Marvel.
Yeah, she was Maria Rambeau.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not Idris Elba, but I'm okay with it.
Wait, not Maria. Was not the girl?
Monica Rambeau.
Wait, who's who?
I don't know. Shit. I don't
remember.
She was Maria. Monica was.
Speaking of Idris Elba, I finally saw Hobbs and Shaw. That was a good shit show.
Yeah. He should have been 007.
It would have been great.
Idris Elba.
Oh yeah.
Or if not, follow there's other books. He should have been 008. That's a good friend of 007, and he's portrayed as a black agent, a black character.
Oh, shit, that would have been cool. I'm sure there's plenty of content for those books and everything.
Man, I actually want to read that story because it's like well known with other James Bond fans, and it's like that's a thing that it brings 007 back into action because an assassination of 008.
Makes sense.
And then there's like there's constant flashbacks of their friendship.
Well, that was the thing about GoldenEye that made it more interesting for me was that Sean Bean's character was 006.
Yeah.
And then in one of the Timothy Dalton ones, one of the 00s dies on the side of a mountain. So I know that because there was a training mission that actually wasn't a training mission; it actually was real.
Damn, don't recall that one.
Yeah, I think it was Living Daylights. It might have been. Yeah. It might have been License to Kill. Well, the Timothy Dalton ones.
No, I've seen License to Kill. I don't recall that happening.
I like Timothy Dalton ones.
Yeah,
I just don't like Timothy Dalton.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Personal prejudice.
Yeah. Well, hey, some Bonds you like, some Bonds you don't.
You know what's crazy? I've never seen a Sean Connery one.
You've never seen a Sean Connery? They're fantastic.
Now that I'm looking, I'm thinking back,
they're dated as hell.
Yeah,
but he's fantastic. As a matter of fact, let's go around the room real quick. Who's your favorite Bond? Starting with Justin.
My favorite Bond?
Your favorite Bond.
My favorite Bond's always going to be Roger Moore, but because he started it for me.
Yeah,
I saw that.
Yeah, so but Daniel Craig is close second. They're probably next.
He's great, man.
Mm-hmm. Kevin?
I'd have to say Daniel Craig because I've seen the most of anyone previously. I've only seen one Dalton, one Moore. I saw all the Pierce Brosnan ones, but those are just like memes. Those are just jokes. Even though
I don't like
the GoldenEye is great, and is it Die Another Day?
Die Another Day was the last one.
No, that one's a joke.
That one's a joke.
That's the one with the fucking invisible car.
Yeah.
Fuck that one. Yeah. What's the one before that?
I don't know, man.
It's GoldenEye, Tomorrow Never Dies, World's Not Enough, and Die Another Day.
What's Not Enough?
World's Not Enough's the one with Denise Richards' nuclear physicist Chris.
See, another joke. No, fuck that one too. God damn it.
I really enjoyed GoldenEye. I think GoldenEye is probably one of my favorite Bond movies. Yeah. But again, it's, I've probably seen it the most.
Right. But what's up there is Daniel Craig's Casino Royale.
That one was a fantastic one.
Amazing.
I wish they could have kept that momentum for Quantum.
Mads Mikkelsen as the villain was fucking awesome.
If you watch them back to back, Quantum of Solace is actually a better movie. It's hard to do because they're such long movies, but Quantum of Solace is actually a direct sequel to Casino Royale.
Yeah, because the love interest continues.
Yeah, because if you watch them back to back, it actually
makes one long story.
Yeah, it makes Quantum of Solace better.
Yeah, because it makes Quantum of Solace just a revenge tale, and it's awesome. It's awesome for that. It goes bonkers in the end.
Joe, how about you? Favorite Bond?
Never watched them.
You've never seen a single Bond?
Dude, you saw the Pierce Brosnan ones.
Maybe once, but...
So Austin Powers, right? Favorite Bond, Austin Powers?
That movie sucks, too.
Those movies were meant to be...
I know.
It's funny. They're like...
Yeah, Dr. Evil was supposed to be like Dr. No.
It's not even DC, bro.
So I don't like it.
It's not even made by Michael Bay.
So I didn't watch it. I don't have an opinion.
Okay.
Do you not like spy stuff?
Bond.
Is that why?
I don't know. I just never got into it.
Okay. You like at least the Jason Bournes?
Never watched those either.
What?
You gotta watch the Bourne Identity. Just watch the Bourne Identity.
Okay, I'll watch it. But I've never.
I love that whole trilogy.
I like the first one
because there is no more than those three.
No, the one with Jeremy Renner was cool.
No. What are you talking about?
The third one was silly.
God damn it.
Huh?
You gonna watch Treadstone?
Third one was cool. After that trailer, fuck no.
That's a hard pass for him. All right, just to round me off, Sean Connery is my favorite Bond.
Good.
Mm-hmm. So
everyone says that. I've legitimately never seen it.
He started it all. He is the epitome of Bond.
Well, wasn't Roger Moore before him?
No. Sean Connery is the first.
Sean Connery was the first?
Sean Connery. When I say he started, he started it for me. Roger Moore was the first Bond movie I ever saw.
But I thought Roger Moore... all right, Sean Connery, yeah.
Sean Connery. Dr. No, first Bond movie ever. Sean Connery made that role.
Okay. Isn't License to Kill Dalton?
Yes.
I saw that one. Who's Octopussy?
That's Roger Moore.
It's Roger Moore.
Saw that one. Okay. So you see, that's it.
The first Bond movie I ever saw was Octopussy.
Yeah, of those old ones, I've only seen those for each of those Bonds.
I mean, and it's the thing about Bond movies is there's usually a really good one followed by a really, really bad one.
Bro, that's like what a crazy trend that franchise has been. So Casino Royale, great. Quantum of Solace, bad. Skyfall, great. Spectre, everyone said that's bad. I stopped there. I didn't continue.
Oh wait, there's another one?
There's Spectre.
Spectre.
Oh. I didn't even know that.
And Spectre has Christoph Waltz reprising the role of Blofeld.
I don't even know who that is.
He's the main Bond villain of.
Even I know that.
Yeah,
he's the Darth Vader.
Basically, yeah.
No, wait. Are we saying Vader? Or are we saying no? He's Emperor.
Yeah, he's Emperor because he's in the shadows.
Yeah, he's the one that starts in a bunch of the older Sean Connery. The whole thing. Blofeld kills Bond's wife, kills Tracy.
I'm trying to remember. Dang, I can't remember these movies.
Stavro Blofeld. You've seen him because Dr. Evil models his look after. He's got the scar with the eye. That's Blofeld.
I thought Dr. Evil was more like Dr. No.
Mm-mm.
Oh well.
Well, I mean, Dr. Evil's an amalgamation of a few bad guys in the Bond world.
Oh well. Well, speaking of another franchise that just won't go away.
Yeah. Tell me about it. There's going to be a Matrix 4.
Because people are asking for this.
And only one Wachowski sibling is going to be involved. Wachowski sibling is going to be involved. Lana. The first one to go.
Didn't they turn trans?
They both
instead of Andy and Larry.
That's a movie.
Instead of Andy and Larry Wachowski, they're now Lana and Lily Wachowski.
So maybe Neo becomes a female.
How can two brothers?
But no, because Carrie Ann Moss has signed on to do it, be it too.
Two brothers.
Maybe they switch it roles. I guess.
But I like the.
You were the one.
What was it like? Was it months ago? Or was it last year that the theory was that they were going to do a fourth one, but it's really a reboot and call it The Matrix Rebooted.
I thought Michael B. Jordan was going to be
right, and it was going to be Michael B. Jordan as Neo, but then they scrapped that idea altogether because now it's the Keanu-sans. So Keanu Reeves is coming back and Carrie Ann Moss.
The data has aged.
But I like there's a plot synopsis that I read and I can't remember what was the outlet, and it's the only outlet that said it, and they're saying that like because of weird Matrix timey-wimey stuff, Doctor Who reference there, George. They discover a younger Morpheus and teach him what their Morpheus taught them, and it's this like crazy loop.
My brain hurts. Get out.
Hey, I read that premise and I was like, that's so weird. I'm like, you know what? That might be the fucking premise.
No. The thing is that part 3...
I don't know. You're asking me like I created it.
Part 3, he breaks the loop. He breaks the cycle.
Right. How do you continue
he also
that?
Dies at the end of part 3.
Right. So how do you continue that other than, he's alive?
And so is Trinity. They both die at the end of 3.
I don't think Warner Bros. Execs saw 3. So they're just like,
here's the thing. They probably did it. That's a situation where I wish I was them because I wish I didn't see 3 or 2 for that matter.
Or 2. Ooh. Hey, but 2 gives a cool cartridge.
No. 2's got amazing fight scenes. It's a terrible movie.
No.
It's a terrible movie, and it's nothing compared to the original.
What's
the
worse?
original's
2 or 3?
Oh, 3's the worst.
Okay.
3's got the 3 doesn't even have your main characters in it like, for most of the movie.
True.
And then it creates characters that you're like, huh? Like the Train Man.
Yeah.
The first one was dope. The first one was great.
Keymaker was the second.
The second one was the second one.
It was.
But the first one revolutionized cinema. I mean, just fucking that movie. You left that. I still remember. I went in that movie not knowing exactly what the fuck I was going to see, and left going, I can't believe I didn't know. Like this movie is fucking amazing. And then we were so excited for the second one, and then they just gave us this pile of shit. And they put it in your face, and they said, "Eat it and have a good time."
Which one was
and
it
we
with the
did.
Fight with the twins in all white?
The
second one.
You know, I don't remember watching the first one the first time. I know that I rewatched it a ton of times afterwards, but I don't remember the first time I watched it. In the movie theater.
I've thought about that too. I'm like, I don't remember the first time. I just remember number 5, number 25, 30. Like I remember all those other times.
I still remember my feeling when Neo first comes out of the fucking pot and pulls the shit out of his face.
Yeah.
It's just a moment of what the fuck am I watching? Because you were right there with Neo. You had no idea what the fuck was going on.
I was like, why can't I move my arms? You've never used your muscles before.
Exactly.
What?
That shit
because we went because that movie came out back when I used to go to the movies every Friday. Every Friday we went and saw the new movie. So I went and saw that in a packed theater, which now I would never do. But I went and saw it with a packed theater. And we just saw commercials, and that was around the time of another movie called the 13th Floor, which had all the green neon in it, just like this movie did. So we were like, the trend at the time was 2 studios released similar movies, like Volcano.
I told you about 13th Floor.
Yeah. So we were just like, this is gonna be like 13th Floor or whatever, and no, we were just like, what the fuck was that? And then combined with all the kung fu in the movie, which we had no idea there was going to be that in there either. It was just a mystery. It was one of the last movie mysteries we ever had before. Because now with social media, internet, and everything like that, you practically know the entire movie before you go see it. You know,
unless it's like indies.
Yeah. So now, I mean, with the Matrix though, that movie came out around. It was the perfect time for that movie to come out because you literally went to the theater going, I don't know, let's take a shot.
I mean, now I don't think there's anything really original left to do. I feel like everything's been touched.
Well, I think the real original things happen.
It just doesn't get funded or gets thrown on Netflix.
It doesn't get funded because there used to be a lot more tiers of movies. You used to have the really low budget indie movie, but then you'd have the really high budget
there's a shit ton of
blockbuster movie. Yeah, but then you had the mid-level movie too.
Yeah, the adult drama, the raunchy comedy.
That mid-level movie's gone.
Yeah.
They don't make that movie anymore.
Because it's all made now on Netflix.
It's either got to be a blockbuster or it's got to be an indie. I mean, or now because of Netflix, those movies are starting to pop up in those places too. So they're giving them a shot. But.
Yeah, it's funny, Emir. The fiance just texted me. Val's just like, give Emir the tres leche. I was like, of course I already did.
I ate half of it.
I saw you.
I stopped out of guilt.
You ate half?
Yeah.
You didn't like sweets.
I know, but that's just fire.
I'm gonna text that woman.
I stopped out of guilt. Like, purely.
So next thing is, so we're getting to Matrix 4. Don't know anything about it yet. Just know that Keanu Reeves, Carrie Ann Moss signed on, and Alana Wachowski is going to write. And we don't know if she's going to direct, though.
Hopefully that.
Apparently they're going to the guy from John Wick, Craig
Stokowski.
Yeah, he's going to have some kind of involvement with it, too. So
I'm okay with it.
Yeah, it just means cool stunts.
Oh, yeah.
Will it tie into Cyberpunk?
That'd be cool.
I have to. It's the Matrix.
So yeah, hopefully it's not that premise I read online.
No, that premise is garbage.
No.
And if it is, I hope they hear this podcast and change their mind.
Yeah, because that's what we're on the pulse.
Yeah.
Whatever we say, we better change it.
So then now strap into your seats because the last thing, all the things we're going to be talking about now is just all Disney related.
Yeah. So if you're done listening with Disney shit, just go ahead and turn us off. Disney Plus won't launch on Fire TV. It will only launch on Apple TV, on
Roku, Xbox,
and PlayStation, and Android, and iPhone.
So here's the funny thing: if it launches on Android, it means it's an APK file. If it's an APK file, you can put it on Fire TV.
Right.
Yeah, and they'll have a workaround.
So hit me up if you guys need to get Disney Plus on your Fire TV or Fire TV stick.
It's very simple.
Fire TV Cube. Come on, you got to be well-rounded.
I forgot we have the well-rounded. I hate you.
I'm just gonna download it straight to my Samsung TV. I don't need it.
Well, that's the thing. They didn't announce Samsung as part of
They
that.
didn't announce the TV.
So they don't know.
But I have the Play Store on it. So.
But the other thing though is Apple TV is now part of Samsung. You can download an Apple TV on your Samsung now. Apple TV has channels. I'm sure Disney Plus will be one of the channels you can download. So
Of course, because that's a huge market.
Yeah.
Samsung is a huge market for them. So of
I have
course,
Flex.
yeah,
Yes.
we are Plex.
We are Plex.
Disney is actually looking to prevent account sharing with this Disney Plus. So I would assume it's going to be something like you can only use the Disney Plus on one machine at a time instead of the 2 or 3 screens thing.
I mean, just why not charge more like Netflix does?
Because they're trying to keep the price point low.
Right, they're trying to keep
They're
it.
they're trying to knock the legs out from underneath Netflix.
Now I wonder how they plan on preventing.
Right, so then that's where the discussion comes in, and it gets scary because you start thinking, okay, is it going to be device restricted like Netflix, or are they really going to get down to the gritty of passwords of by IP address?
They do.
That's crazy.
They do restrict Netflix now, but you can only play it on 2 screens at a time.
Right.
So they can continue that technology and just
it's not a big leap.
Right, but they're not, the way it's worded, it's not that it's that of streams. It's they want to restrict password and account sharing.
Oh.
So it's like, how do you go about that?
IP addresses?
Right.
But then what if you go out of
That's
town?
the thing though. IP addresses are dynamic in most environments.
Right.
My phone has a completely different IP than my house, just because my phone gets internet from T-Mobile, which gets internet from who knows where. So it can't be. It won't be an IP restriction.
But if they see both of those with the same account, then they're like, no.
If both of them are, I think it's going to be
that's probably the most logical thing.
If they're on the same time, then they're not going to care if you go switching from one to the other. That they won't care about.
I'm logged into 25 devices, but only one
But if
device
all
can stream.
5 of us share the same thing and all 5 of us are watching, they're like,
everyone's going to get cut except for one.
Exactly.
But again, that's back to the way Netflix does it. They're restricting it by device.
Right. Which is the only way you can do it.
right.
Right, but the way it's worded of this, whoever broke this, I can't remember if it was Deadline or Deadline broke the other Sony thing. I can't remember. There's too many fucking outlets now. But
That's true.
the way it's worded is that Disney is trying to restrict account sharing. Nothing about devices. Nothing about, because they're looking to technologies for this. So something that already exists, like device restriction, there's no technology to look into.
It'll probably be something we haven't heard of. Something new.
Right, but then now that something new is scary to people like us that want to share with family, fucking significant others, each other, us.
All I can say about this is you knew it was coming.
Right.
The era of sharing, I mean, it's...
They've been cutting down on it.
You really can't look at them cutting off sharing and go, how dare they? Because they've been trying to do it for years. It's just these people. I mean, Disney's the ones that are gonna. They're gonna be the ones that.
Netflix gave us a good middle ground. You pay a price point. You want to share more, pay a higher price point. You want extra accounts on it, pay a higher price point.
The other thing
it's not by accounts. That's by device. Device streams.
The other thing you got to remember is
but you also have accounts.
For every brain that Disney has working on this problem, there's people like Amir who are working on the counter problem.
Right.
Never.
Well, no, probably giving the advice of like, there's a workaround for that.
Yeah.
Well,
There's always a
look,
solution.
Look, look how quickly the fucking the jailbreak store popped up when iPhone first came out. I mean, that seemingly happened overnight. And I mean,
it took a few iterations for them to make it difficult. Now it's actually kind of difficult to jailbreak an iPhone.
but still, for a long time. But what I'm saying is,
This now too.
Yeah, it is frivolous.
But what I'm for the time that the jailbreak store was alive, I mean, that thing popped up fairly quickly and lasted forever.
I mean, at one point there was a website called Swipe to Unlock.
Yeah.
Right.
And you just go there, you literally swipe, and you're unlocking your iPhone, and it would jailbreak your phone. And I was like,
jailbreak versions, it was going so fast that jailbreak versions would be out the same day as a new update.
Yeah.
But then once, I remember it was that Supreme Court hearing of like, they allowed the jailbreaks to be legal, but it will still void your warranty with Apple if you, let's say, go turn it in for something or whatever, or need repair. Since then, I started seeing a lot. I stopped jailbreaking by that time, but I started seeing a lot of friends and stuff that the jailbreaking then started having like ads. People like literally some jailbroken apps started monetizing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So then on your phone, you could be like on the home screen, and a fucking ad would just pop up because you had a jailbroken.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the beauty of the Apple Store. They don't allow those types of things. And Google Play Store doesn't really allow those things, where there are some apps that do that. And that's why I get, like, my grandma, like, why is this happening to my phone? Why is there an ad on the lock screen? It's because you downloaded it in an app that was, like, Candy Crush or something. No, don't do that.
Yeah.
Stop, grandma.
So the point I'm getting at is, if you're afraid that you're not going to be able to share your password, there'll be a workaround. There's always somebody working on the problem.
Right.
You know?
Because for me, I'm that example. Val will be buying or paying for the Disney Plus. I will not be using that. But for sure, I'll be watching Star Wars and Marvel stuff in 4K using the Disney Plus. So I'll have to use her account, but, well, like what?
But if she downloads it here, then it's going to be here.
Right, but what will you count as, what's her device versus mine? My iPhone, hers, her iPad versus mine, this TV versus another TV in the room. You got me? Like, who's to say... She wants to see a Disney movie and I want to watch a Star Wars movie at the same time.
I think it's going to follow the Netflix model where it just keeps one stream at a time.
Right.
Because that's the most logical thing. Anything else is just going to promote privacy.
Right, but again, the way it's worded is that they're looking to other technologies.
I know, but like, right, that's what I'm saying though, but I don't think they'll do anything that crazy because at that point people are just going to say, fuck this, because $7.99 turns into $14.99,
easily.
like $15.99 because you need it for multiple things. And then at that point people are like, why the fuck am I doing this?
Right.
Yeah.
It'll hurt them more than it benefits.
Hey, but it's still Disney. I don't know anyone who still won't pay that.
I'm not paying that shit.
You won't?
I will. 15?
Right, I know you will.
I will.
Look, I got a year and a half left on my DirecTV account, and I'm already talking with the wife about dropping it when it's over and just going shortcut, because I just watch shit on apps now as it is. I don't even, all the shit I tape, I don't even watch anymore. I just watch shit on apps now.
That sucks.
Yep.
You just have a DVR full of stuff and you're just like, but why?
Yeah, I have the last 12 episodes of Arrow, and I'm just like, I don't even want to watch it. You know, I've got about 12 episodes of Modern Family, and I'm just like,
That's all I've been watching.
But I've been I don't have Hulu. But I've been watching the shit out of fucking Parks and Rec and Scrubs, and
See, just as a modern man now wants to stream everything and cut the cord.
Well, yeah, I'm trying to figure out the reasoning behind it.
My favorite thing about putting the cord is you can always speed things up.
But okay, fine. You'd be fine with doing that. But think about families that have like 4 or 5 children and shit. And imagine having to pay that much.
Right.
Per
device? That'd be crazy.
There'll be a family price.
Yeah, there has to be.
Yeah, there'll be a family. Especially, this is Disney we're talking about.
Right,
There's always a family
But then
price.
at that point, who's to say that a regular Joe Schmo doesn't just do the family thing so he can share with his friends? And it's still, you get what I'm trying to say? Like, they're not going to give you the workaround themselves. I feel like it. I don't know. I think
this is going to cause more issues.
I just think the Netflix route is the best.
Now, remember, Disney is pretty well known for taking your info and storing it. Because remember, if you have a Magic Band, if you're a pass holder, they have all your shit.
Yeah.
When you go through the gate at Disney, they got your fingerprint and they got all your information. Because when your name pops up on a screen when you go through the gates at Disney, okay? So there's not to say that they might not be moving that technology into the app realm where they have to have all your info before you can even use their shit.
You gotta insert an RFID chip in your hand and scan that
Well, I'm not
on your
saying
device.
that
so
far, but I'm just saying maybe they will have this TV, that TV, that TV, and then if you go out of town, you got to figure something else out.
You have to like hit disconnect from this TV.
But they know you got your iPad, so they're like, well, you just bring your iPad with you and you watch shit on the iPad. You're not watching it on your buddy's TV. That's just not happening.
Oh, I get what you mean. So you're thinking of like they're gonna limit it to one type of device per device. So
No,
one
I'm
tablet,
thinking
one
you have to
phone, one laptop, one TV.
I'm thinking you have to register your devices with Disney.
Fuck, that's nuts.
That's, I mean, like if you have a Samsung.
Going by like IMEI.
Yeah. So you have a
You can
Samsung
hardware
180.
spoof. Yes, you can hardware spoof.
So and there you go. Somebody already working on the solution.
Right. Right, but think of it that way. If Amir just said that in 5 seconds, someone over there has already thought of it.
Oh yeah, there's when they announced this, there's a group of people somewhere going, bring it, let's do this, baby.
What do you got for us?
Come on,
Yeah,
I want you to make this hard. I'm looking for a challenge.
It's true though. Everything there's always challenge accepted.
Yeah. So that don't mean nothing to me. So the final news of the night, which we know is, if you've existed in the last day or so, we're recording this on a Wednesday.
Shit, that shit's everywhere.
It is everywhere. Is that Disney and Sony have parted ways when it comes to Spider-Man.
What?
I think the best thing out of this has been the memes.
The memes are
They've
hard,
been
yeah.
the best, man.
I was posting them at 8:50 in the morning.
No, but
I
since
know that.
yesterday, since the moment it happened,
Dude.
I felt the Sony executives at the meeting when they walked away from the deal. I think they were the ones posting some of those memes. Because those memes were fast.
There were
tagging each other.
interns in
Yeah.
the room going, "Holy shit!"
Yeah.
I'm gonna make the best meme.
Yeah.
Nah, the better ones came out more today. There were some good ones.
Bro,
yesterday,
the
but
ones
they
like
did fire.
using Endgame scenes
yes.
were the best.
Yeah.
No, it's even international. Like I said, that Spanish one.
Yeah, the Spanish one.
I think my favorite one though right now is the one between Tony and Cap. Is I lost the kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That's the Endgame one. I love that one. I love that one so much.
But it took the world. It took the world by storm. I mean,
Yeah.
there's really no way other to say it. In fact, in a world where Matrix 4 should have probably been the big news for yesterday,
For real.
this just eclipsed it. I mean, this is Farrah Fawcett dying all over again. I don't know if you remember this, but Farrah Fawcett died the same day as Michael Jackson.
Oh, that's
Farrah
right.
Fawcett died, and then Michael Jackson died, and people forgot who Farrah Fawcett was.
Yep.
You know?
So you want me to say another coincidence of this happening?
What?
It was on Andrew Garfield's birthday.
Oh shit!
Nice.
Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2 actor. His birthday was the same day that the Tom Holland MCU Spider-Man deal fell apart.
Which one of my favorite memes includes him. It's the hangman scene.
Yeah.
And you see Andrew Garfield, and then it's Tobey Maguire going like, "Oh, your first time." And it's like Tom Holland with the noose on his neck. It's like, yeah.
So, okay, we've been talking like really abstracts and vagaries.
So
What exactly happened?
Okay,
if
so
you read it.
I read it.
Okay.
So what happened was after Spider-Man Far From Home made over $1 billion, Disney decided that they wanted to get a bigger piece of the profit margin.
Right, at this meeting.
And
Disney and Sony
they
had
were
this
having a
specific meeting.
where they were renegotiating the terms because remember the whole thing leading up to this was if Spider-Man Far From Home beats $1 billion, Marvel will retain control of Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Okay, that was something that was been floated. Not sure if it was true. So it was kind of was a
Maybe it was
rumor.
more for a renegotiation.
Maybe, but that's probably why. But that was very much said. So this apparently was that negotiation to renegotiate. Up until this point, Disney has had 5% of the first run grosses. Okay,
and all
merchandise. Okay,
To me already, that's a huge fucking pie.
it is. But Disney thought after the $1 billion, they should get 50%.
How much money did they lose out of that billion?
Well,
What would they lose?
I mean, Disney only made 5% on that billion.
yes, but
Right, but what do you mean lose?
Look how much merchandise came out of that movie. Anything that came out of that movie with a Far From Home name logo on it
Was Disney,
is Disney's
not Sony to win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, but at the same time, Far From Home was a Disney produced. Well, not produced, but Disney produced that. They made that movie.
Exactly.
It was only distributed by Sony.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So they put up the money up front. They
Right.
get 5% on the back end and all the merchandising. Disney's saying, "Look, we just revitalized this franchise. We just made this franchise $1 billion maker.
Something you couldn't do.
You've had how many bites of
Five.
the apple? And
Five
and
tries.
the only thing you got was a cartoon.
Right.
You know, And
That's true. Spider-Verse was all that.
So like
Yeah,
6.5 tries because you got to count Venom as well as a half.
oh god.
no, I don't. I don't have to do that at all.
But that's
I
why
don't even know where that
Sony's
came
all
from.
big chesting. Like,
Yes.
our
Oh,
Venom
we made Venom.
we made 800.
I really think, and I love that it was this like crazy theory on Twitter. I really think Venom only make the $100 million worldwide, super awesome number just because of curiosity. I think people only want to see it because of curiosity.
Tom Hardy.
It also came out in the sweet spot between Infinity War and Endgame too.
True. So it scratched that superhero itch.
It was good placement.
Mm-hmm. People were like, Spider-Man just died in this movie. I need kind of something.
But then now to your what you just said, and you went over that point there, Justin. I read, and again, I can't remember if it was the Hollywood Reporter or some other outlet.
I read it in Variety.
I read when it broke, it was Deadline. The follow-up, which was Sony's response, was Hollywood Reporter.
Mm-hmm.
But in one of those in-between times, I read that the whole Disney wanting 50% included Disney going in 50% on financing.
Right.
Oh, I didn't read that.
Which Disney never put money in. All they did was allow Kevin Feige and some other resources. Disney never put money into the movie.
Oh, see, now I always thought that they made the movie
Right.
and Sony distributed it.
Not from what I read.
That was my understanding.
Feige's team is writing it. They had to have got paid. Sony's not paying Feige's team.
Right, but to my knowledge, that was like, let's say, using them as freelance to go work over there on this one movie and come back.
Right, but Disney's paying that.
I don't know.
See, Disney's whole leg to stand on is the fact that they're financing the movie because that's why they want more money out of it because they just revitalized this franchise.
If true, then I get that.
Their whole claim to fame on this is the fact that like Joe said, they had 5 bites at the apple, couldn't get it over $1 billion.
Right.
Disney took 2 movies,
three different Spider-Man.
Yeah. Disney took 2 movies to get Spider-Man over made it $1 billion movie, and now they're slapping their chest going, look, we did this.
Right.
But they're also being shitty about it, too, because they're like, look, this is our character. We want him. We need him.
They both look back.
It's also, because I'm remembering now, it was Kevin Feige and the casting director, I can't remember her name. They're the ones that found Tom Holland.
That's the other thing. I want to know what this means for Tom Holland, because he was found by Disney, not by Sony.
Yeah.
So if they worded it, but here's the thing: if they
he continues, they own the rights.
But if they worded the contract correctly, he might not be able to. It depends on how that contract's worded.
I don't know. They said it because again, that was in the Deadline, the press release, not the press release. God damn it!
Yeah,
the story that Deadline broke is that they will continue with the 2 remaining movies that they have with Tom Holland's contract without Kevin Feige. Now, and the way Disney responded to that, or not responded, because it was the Hollywood Reporter's story that broke about Disney's story, is that Kevin Feige will be busy with Disney Plus.
Yeah. See, that was the response I read from Sony, was that it's not so much the money that's the problem. It's the fact that Kevin Feige now just inherited a whole other world of characters to kind of work with, so he can't split his time between working with Marvel Studios and going over to Sony and doing that. So, but they left the window open saying, we hope he does. And to me, that just sounds to me like, look, Kevin Feige's name's just not going to be on the movie. But it doesn't mean that it's not going to be done.
Yeah, it's not a big deal.
No.
Right. You don't need him on the movie.
Right, because he has a team of other producers that could just go and
as long as the team is working on it, he's going to have a say.
And especially now after Far From Home was the most MCU world heavily influenced MCU movie we've ever seen. Mm-hmm. And now to just dump all those references is going to be really jarring.
Hurt Sony.
Yeah.
I think Disney did that because where do they go from here? Let's say they separate. Let's say no more Iron Man, no more. They can't. How does Sony make a movie?
Well, all of a sudden, when a lot of people have been saying, thank God he'll stop talking about Tony. But how can you make that movie now? You've had 2 movies where Tony has been such a huge influence on his life. It's going to be like, it would be like if Uncle Ben died in the first 2 movies and in the third one, he's just like, no, I do this because I'm a fan. I like really being Spider-Man.
But I think, because I feel like that's thinking way too small. And that's like the joke on Twitter and stuff like that about the whole Iron Man thing. But I'm thinking bigger. I'm like, now you can no longer reference the snap.
I think
and the people blipped back. Like, That's a bigger world problem.
They're
fuck the Iron Man thing and whatever. Jump and his death has already been a year or two. Fuck it, he's not talking about him anymore. But there's still people 5-year difference. Living awkwardly in this world.
But that would just be something they would just not refer to.
Right, they can't reference now. I'm like, that's really weird.
Disney did that on purpose. Feige did that on
purpose. To
hurt them later on in case the deal didn't.
Well, it wasn't Feige in the meeting. Let's be clear. Right? Feige was not the one just up and left. It was Sony that left the table.
No, right. But for future reference, here's all this MCU stuff. Oh, you don't want to play with us? Deal with it now.
Yeah.
I think one of the main reasons it made so much money, Far From Home Spider-Man, is because it was so tied into the MCU.
Right after.
And this is the epilogue to Endgame.
Yeah. Exactly. Everyone needed this. This was the closure for what happened in that movie.
They were smart because they introduced him in Civil War. His first solo was after Civil War. Yeah. And the tag is his time going to the Civil War movie and coming back. And then Far From Home is him back after Endgame.
Exactly. I mean, he was very well tied into it. And if it wasn't for that, he wouldn't have crossed $1 billion easily.
Right.
This just sounds like a negotiation tactic.
Yeah,
right. I mean, the fact that
and leaking it to the press.
Yeah, this just to me just screams like, look, just wait. You know, I mean, it could go, it could not go. I don't know, but I gotta believe that they're gonna come somewhere.
It'll work out.
And maybe they'll get that 35% instead of the 50%. But.
Right. I think it's Disney. Like swinging the dick way too hard. It's like, yo, come on, 50. You're the world's biggest fucking conglomerate. Yeah. I get that they have the right to ask for that because it is a lot of more them on the line than Sony.
Yeah,
but Sony also reserves the right because they own the rights to the character.
And here's the thing too: it's all about who blinks first, and whoever blinks is going to be the hero, especially now.
And it might be Sony because of that stock.
Well, think about it this way. This news took over the fucking internet. Everybody within our world, talking about Spider, but even still, it was all
outside.
over.
The memes went outside.
The memes went outside our world.
Took over the internet. Spider-Man dropped. Sony, MCU, not together anymore. Big deal. To the point to, like you said, Sony lost stock price. Okay? Stock dropped. Now we're in a position to go, which company's going to go, oh, you know what? We're going to take the hit just to give the fans what they want. The first one to do that is, I mean, think about it.
Yeah.
Buy Sony stock now.
Yeah.
Especially.
Shit, yeah.
Because if Sony is the one that goes, you know what? We can't separate Spider-Man from the MCU. He needs to belong. He belongs there. We're gonna acquiesce. We're gonna give Disney what they want. Sony is now the hero, and everybody's just like, thank you, Sony.
Yeah.
You know?
Because right now everyone's blaming them.
Yes.
It shouldn't be them completely.
No, it's kind of both of their things. Yeah.
So that's a good point. Who do we all, each of us, think who's the most to blame in this botch of a meeting?
Well, at the moment, just because they walked away when they heard from Sony, because they were like, no,
they didn't negotiate,
and they didn't even counter offer.
I think Disney went with, let's say 50, but they'll counter offers 30. We'll take it.
No,
but Sony's like, fuck you. We made Venom. We're out.
I'm in the camp that Disney came in swinging dick, and they're like 50 or get the fuck out.
No,
and Sony's like, all right, we'll see ourselves out.
Well, look, even people at Disney know how to negotiate. You're not going to get You're not going to get that one guy who's just I'm going to get the greatest deal in the world. No. They know how to negotiate. Right. So they when you go in to buy a car, you tell them, you don't tell them how much you can afford. You tell them how much you're willing to pay.
Right.
Okay? It's the same thing. You tell them, it's the same thing. You don't tell them how much you're willing to accept. You just tell them how much you want.
It was like, listen, we're going to ask for 50. Yeah, they'll get 30
we'll settle up whatever. I mean, it's a sales tactic. You use it in sales. You use it in negotiation. You start off high, or you work your way down, depending on what side of the table you're on.
Now, whether or not Disney did like you said, it came in and said, threw their dick on the table.
No, they did. I 100% agree that they did.
Dude, this is the same Disney that just destroyed another fucking company. They just absorbed Fox, canceled more than half of their fucking projects. And they're like, hey, they said no to us, we bought them. Right. What are you going to say?
Sure.
Fox was looking to sell because they were
right.
Yeah, but I gotta think.
And I still stand by that too. I mean, Disney's the pimp here. You don't argue.
Yeah, I like your...
You're the hoe. Shut up and take
Hold on,
it.
because I want to shout out. I mean, I really like the lemonade stand analogy, but I want you to repeat it now to these guys.
Fuck, I gotta remember I do these things on the fly. But basically, what I was saying is like, you make a lemonade stand, right? I
Right.
gave you the recipe.
Right.
You're selling lemonade like fucking crazy.
Yeah. Where's my cut?
And
Where's my
I'm
cut?
only getting 5 cents on every dollar you make, type of thing too.
Fucking
Now I want 50 cents.
Right.
What's the problem?
Right.
To me, that's such a
I
great
think Disney went in
analogy.
there like a gorilla, but
Yeah.
I think they were like, if we get 40, we're fine.
But it's my recipe.
But they have to go in like that. And Sony's
You
like,
tell
look,
her,
you
yeah.
we have Venom, bye.
It's just you're already intimidated. Like you're talking like, oh, maybe
But you have to be.
because I think you're envisioning probably 2 suits. Not
Those are
not
famous
like
figures.
45 guys. No, I'm thinking they're envisioning Disney is a silverback gorilla that could swing dick and destroy the fucking building.
David
So
and
when they
Goliath.
come in, right?
Yeah.
David and Goliath, right? So they come in, whip it out, and they're asking for 50, and I'm gonna be like, I can't even fucking get the tip of that.
Here's
I'm
the thing.
leaving.
Here's the thing. The thing. I would look at it like this. Sony probably thought they didn't have a move, so the only move they made was to walk away.
Walk away, right?
Because they probably thought, like you said, they probably looked at all the people on the other side of the table and said, if we offer them anything, we're just pulling our pants down.
Right.
So
Because they're the ones that own them. They're the ones that own the
Yeah,
character.
Right,
So-
but they're gonna go make another movie and fail,
Right.
and make dog shit. And they're gonna
And I think even they're aware of that.
Right.
exactly. They
Right.
know they're gonna
At
fail.
this point, after making, they can't be so high on Spider-Verse that they're like, we made Spider-Verse.
No, because okay. So now to
Can't continue that.
the Hollywood
Yeah.
reporters. So now to the Hollywood reporters thing of what Sony responded with, saying, "Hey, it was because of Kevin Feige not coming back. We will continue with his vision and guidance under the direction of John Watts and Tom Holland, continuing for his 2 contractually obligated movies."
Mhm.
So it's kind of like a weird double-edged sword of like, wait, so you're confirming that he has 2 more movies left? I'm like, that's a little weird because if everyone remembers early on, they
6.
said he had 6.
Right.
And if you count the appearances, then he should only have 1 left, not 2.
Spider-Man 3.
Right. So people are like, wait, so does Endgame not count because he technically only has 1 scene?
No, he has more one scene.
He's only in the end battle.
Well, yeah, but
Yeah, and
Okay,
technically
so-
it should count because he's
Right, because he
he's-
appears.
yeah.
So the verbiage is weird on either
But the verbiage
previous
is like-
reports or now these
the
reports.
verbiage has been like that since Nick Fury.
Yeah.
'Cause remember, with Nick Fury, he was supposed to be for 10 movies, but he appeared in like 40. So,
Right. Yeah, they've possibly like renegotiated behind the scenes, and no one has reported that yet.
so I don't know.
But again, I like the wordage of what they're saying is like they'll continue Kevin Feige's vision and continue his guidance. So maybe let's say he laid out some plans, and they're like, all right, we don't need your help. We kind of got the blueprint of where we were going, anyways.
Right, but now then that goes back to
Yeah,
what you
but
were
they
saying
don't-
about the referencing and shit like that too. How do they
Right?
make
They
that
can't do. They legally cannot reference anything from the MCU.
and what
Right.
they don't have is anything to tie it going forward.
Right, and I'm sure his
So,
blueprints had it in mind
anything-
that it was going to be a part of this.
Anything that happens in Madness of whatever,
Yeah,
Doctor
into
Strange,
the Doctor Strange into the multiverse of madness.
Thor, Love and Thunder, anything that happens in those movies, anything that happens on the TV shows and Falcon and WandaVerse and Falcon and Winter Soldier, anything that happens in any of that shit
So
can't even be
they're
tied
always
in.
gonna be like, "There's a guy in San Francisco. I gotta go fight him."
Well, especially if
that's
what
it.
they're saying for, like what they're saying for Wanda and Doctor Strange 2 is the fact that Wanda might be the villain of Doctor Strange
Right.
2,
Oof.
and
I love
he
that.
has to
So-
rein her in.
so you have maybe like a New York altering scene, and then you're going to have a Spider-Man movie that has no reference to the fact that the whole
New York was trash.
almost was destroyed. You know?
Right.
But what
And
kills
he
me
was
is
on another
Sony.
vacation.
Right.
Sony's afraid to lose their franchise. I get it, but step up and make a better movie.
Right.
They also have Masters of the Universe that easily could give you 9 movies if done right.
If done right.
If done right,
Like Lord of the Rings stuff.
you won't even need Spider-Man anymore.
Yes, but
If
it's all
done-
about money.
Right. But they're not going to do Spider-Man right. Hell, I don't even think they're going to do
Yeah.
Masters right.
I'm gonna say they're not doing Masters right.
No, I have zero faith. I have more faith in the Netflix series than the fucking movie.
The not so masters of the
Right.
universe.
I guess I'm going to keep watching cartoons for the rest of my fucking life. Because they're never going to make
Nothing
a
wrong with
goddamn... No, there's nothing wrong with it, but I want to see a good Masters of the Universe movie. It's never going to happen. Because Sony needs to put their fucking pants on and be like, alright, fine. Make a fucking better... But why suck on the teeth of Kevin Feige. I mean, Kevin Feige is great, but
So you're in the camp of like, that Sony's in their position because they've needed them.
right.
But then
Look at the villains.
just
you
do
have.
good shit, then you won't need
all
them.
the Spider-Man stories. You
Right.
have. But they can't fucking get it right. They cannot get it right.
The thing
Yeah,
is,
but you're-
part of making it right was including him in the MCU in this greater world. Because you
That's
couldn't
their
have
fault.
had the way they did
That's their
Mysterio. You couldn't have done Mysterio the way they did it without
Right.
having him in the MCU.
You calling somebody?
Oh yeah. Oh shit. That's their fault.
It's
Right?
true. Damn. What if after this they can't even reference Mysterio?
They can't.
Because he's a Stark employee.
Exactly.
Right, and then
Yeah.
and the way the
Where
movie ended.
Where he sees him again, he's like, "No, I work for Sears." Oh, okay, cool. I work for some
There's a
movie theater.
lot of. There's too much red tape to clean up.
Yeah.
They can't reference the glasses.
Listen,
Right.
yeah, all
they
I say
screwed.
when the thing happened.
Wait. He can't use his suit.
He can't.
You can't
It's
use
a
the Iron
turn-
Spider
yeah,
at all.
Right, and fuck the glasses.
Yeah,
Like,
glasses.
shit, he can't. You're right. He can't even use his regular suit either.
He can't use his
Oh my god!
Dude,
Dude,
think about that.
Fits in him.
Screwed.
Dude,
I'm
yeah,
telling you,
Sony has
Sony's-
really crippled it then.
He can't even
Well,
use
Disney has
the
crippled
hoodie
Sony.
suit
Yeah, exactly.
either.
And I think on
Why can't he
purpose.
use the hoodie?
Because the
Wow.
hoodie suit was Marvel thing.
Oh, they
I
have to
wouldn't say on
redesign it.
purpose.
Yeah.
Like I feel like they did the storytelling for the sake of storytelling, so they were expecting.
For
to
me, I do like these
Yeah.
guys, but I didn't like tying him into Iron Man so fucking much.
Well,
I
agreed.
didn't like that.
Okay, so it's like,
But
to
I
me, that's the
think now-
only silver lining of like, cool, less Tony. But I was like, wait, but he's already so ingrained into
Exactly.
the world. It's like, to remove that now is just
I think it was
weird.
done on purpose.
It was done on purpose, 100%. But on top of that, there was more reasons than just, let's screw over Sony if they ever want to take him away. There's a reason
No,
for
it's all
storyline.
story based.
Yeah, there's also
See,
that he's going to take over
I
as the
think
next
Joe,
leader.
you keep talking about like do a better movie like it's just something easy to do. I mean, I think
does it?
yeah, but it's different.
Oh.
Because look at all the people who look at everything that goes into an MCU movie. I mean, it's not. I mean,
Good writers and good producers.
exactly.
But it's not only that.
work,
It's
that
not only
one-
good. It's people that are fans of the material. I think that's the difference.
Sony cannot find fans of the material that are
Right.
writers.
No, that's where I'm on your side. Yes. You're
Go
right.
look for these people.
Right.
Stop being lazy. And people want to complain about Disney being monopolizing. No, fucking make yourself better and make a better movie and
Right.
not take out Disney. Don't just take it. But no,
Yeah,
of course.
don't carbon copy. Make
Right.
something better.
But in this case, I'm okay with them taking.
I just
No,
love
the
that.
same. Because I want Spider-Man back. but-
I love how Joe somehow brought back the He-Man.
Because
Yeah,
because they have no
He said he was going to
franchise.
tie back in.
Does Sony have any franchises? No, they don't. What, Men in Black?
Venom now. And Men in
No.
Black fell apart quick.
Exactly.
Ugh.
Jesus.
Heartbreaking.
Masters could make them billions
It didn't need
if done right.
happen.
Yeah.
If done right. But I know they're not going to make it right.
No, I think I saw a report somewhere about the Men in Black International was a huge loss for them.
Yeah.
That they lost like the quarter
Exactly.
because of that one.
I'm surprised they didn't bring Bob Iger right after. How much?
They don't bother Bob Iger to go in those meetings. He just says like Alan Horn. Not even, because
Yeah,
Alan
yeah.
Horn is a fucking asshole too.
Yeah, he is an asshole. No, but they'd be like, we just bought Fox. How much do you want? Buy you out too.
We'll give you 2 skills.
Well, yeah, we'll give you a job at Disneyland. Give me Spider-Man back.
I think this law means that we're just tired of this topic already. We just want it to end.
All right, so Sony Pictures film franchises, just for Joe's sake.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was
please.
just looking them
Go,
up.
go
The
ahead.
Karate Kid,
Ghostbusters.
Ghostbusters, Spider-Man,
If that one's done right,
Jumanji,
Well-
Stuart Little.
Men in Black.
Jumanji made
Underworld.
a lot of money.
Robert Langdon.
What's Robert Langdon?
The Da Vinci Code.
Oh,
That went nowhere.
isn't that done already?
Yeah,
Didn't
that
they do
No,
all the
they're
books?
still. They're no. They didn't.
I only read 3 books, so.
There's
Uh,
4.
The Smurfs,
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's all failed franchises with
Exactly.
shitty
Hotel
sequels.
Transylvania,
Oh, I can't wait for
Cloudy
that.
So, more,
with a chance.
so to Joe's point, more animated stuff.
Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs.
Animated.
That's
Yeah, I like
on this
the first
short
one.
list. I did too. On this short list, that's all I have.
Wow.
They
So
have
they,
nothing.
that's crazy. They have
They have
nothing.
Without Spider-Man, they'll be dead in the water.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's
Ghostbusters,
Just
gosh.
fucking get enough KY and take it.
And we have a new Jumanji with Kevin Hart's coming back.
And,
Dwayne The Rock
Dwayne
Johnson's
Be
coming
like,
back.
be like
Jack Black.
Starlight in the boys. Just take it.
Just take it.
Just she took it. She took it for them. Yeah.
Maybe we can get Tom Hanks to come back for that the next Robert Langdon movie,
Yeah, yeah.
the Da Vinci.
Yeah,
no
go
sé qué.
ahead. No.
I only like the first one.
I actually read the books beforehand, and of course that always ruins the movie. So.
Yeah.
thought it was okay.
Matrix is Warner Bros., right?
Yeah,
I
we're
thought
there.
Sony.
Warner Media.
Warner
Sorry.
Media.
I'm sorry.
And then Sony, besides movies, they do great games for Spider-Man.
Right.
Get those people to tell
They
the
just
fucking
bought-
stories then.
Right.
They just bought the
For real.
You know how many times I personally think that I feel like they should get the fucking game
Writers.
writers to fucking make some of these
Yeah,
movies.
I don't
The
get
game
it.
was fucking amazing. I didn't play it, but I watched the cinematic, and that was fucking great.
I'll lend it to you.
Shit, yeah, if you want.
I don't have
The,
PlayStation.
I'll lend it to you.
who's the one? Who's the creator?
Yeah,
Who's
I
the
watched-
studio that made the
the whole-
Spider-Man game?
You have
The
time right
studio
now.
who made the Spider-Man game.
Insomniac.
Was it Insomniac?
I think it's Insomniac.
Yeah, Sony
Right
just bought them.
sides.
Where's
Yeah,
the
no,
TNT
because Sonic's
cabinet?
been making
I'll
great
have
games.
a lot of time.
Next month. Wait, no.
And then you have like God of War would be a great movie series.
It would be. They won't do that right, and they made the fucking game, and they won't.
It
do
blows
that
my
right.
mind how amazing those games and that stories, especially the latest one,
Oh God.
and they will not make it into another media.
Right, they sit on it because Sony's a bunch of whatever.
And yet we got sequels to Smurfs and Men in
Right.
Black.
Murder me.
You
Hey,
sitting on
Men in Black had potential.
Okay,
It was Thor and
has been
Valkyrie.
good since the first.
I
After the first
literally
one?
think,
Has
you know
been
what
good
it
since
is?
the
I
first
literally think they're scared to make big budget because it would then mean a bigger loss.
That's the
Because
Yeah.
when you think of Smurfs, Jumanji, that's all like just set dressing stuff.
Yeah.
That's not really big action, high budget
Well-
location scouting.
Just Jumanji. Jumanji's kind of like that now.
right.
The Rock and everything in
trending
it.
into-
Because they put money into the actors. They have four
Right.
huge actors. Karen Gillian's a huge actress herself.
right there, they have God of War and Masters. With those two,
He keeps bringing up Masters. Does anyone even know Masters beyond
there's a huge convention, and
Really?
Yeah.
Everyone's
Masters
full
is
of
a
bowl
huge
cuts.
following, man.
Everyone's full of bowl cuts.
Look it up. We just had PowerPoint this
I
week.
just hope they do a live action version of the meme.
Hey,
Fine.
Yeah, I'm down for that.
Do it. Just make money.
What do they call the He-Man con? He-Con?
Power
PowerPoint.
PowerCon.
He card.
Masters of the Con? Cons of the Universe?
Cons of the Masters? No, that sounds like a felon.
Why do you gotta hate?
Yeah,
Why do you gotta
that's an
hate?
amazing cartoon. If the
Kevin even see it. Kevin doesn't watch cartoons. Kevin grew up just watching like Law and Order.
They could fucking
No.
make this. Look,
It was Matlock.
It was Matlock.
look, the
Law
whole
and Order.
2002 series. Just follow that,
Mhm.
and they'll make so much money. But no, Sony.
Well, no, it just from the standpoint that it's fantasy mixed with technology.
Right.
You know, you have a whole genre there that's not even tapped.
Right.
And to do it correctly, you grab two different people. You grab your fantasy people and you grab your cyberpunk people, and
Boom.
you've
And
got a whole,
sci-fi with the-
and then
with
you
the-
create a
with the
whole new
planets.
genre. You know,
Right.
Why is James Cameron doing that? Sort of fucking Avatar 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6
It's only up to 5.
We need to see blue people on the beach. That's why.
on the beach.
Well, that was in the
Isn't
forest.
that the next one?
Oh, on the beach this
On the
time?
beach, right?
And in the desert. And then we're going to do every topograph, right?
Ice.
If you need a good nap, go on that.
somebody wrote a thing. It's like, why doesn't Sony and Disney just trade? Why doesn't Disney give Sony Avatar and Sony take Spider-Man?
Hey,
They don't want Avatar.
Disney takes Spider-Man.
They
I
don't
was
want
reading that
Avatar.
going like, I don't know. That sounds like a good trade to me, boss.
No, it's not a good trade. I wouldn't take that. But I don't think Sony wants that. Yeah,
But also, since they are just built an Avatar land, it's kind of weird that they would do
Yeah.
something like that.
that's
Well, why can't either Disney or Sony just take over Power Rangers and make, a good range of
Well,
movies?
That's just
Hasbro's making a movie.
Yeah.
But
See what they do.
see, we're talking about money here.
So my-
It's all about how much things cost. Sony's not going to buy a franchise for
And technically,
almost
Disney
$1 billion, and then
Disney should do it because they could monetize on their products as good as Hasbro has been or better.
They don't need to buy more.
Disney.
Give it all to Disney. They can make it better.
At one point, Disney did own the rights to Power Rangers.
Yeah,
Are
they
you
did.
serious?
Yeah.
Power
and
Rangers
they-
were in the Hollywood Studios
Yeah.
park.
Yeah.
They had a show and
But
everything.
that was the worst Power Rangers series. That was the police one.
Oh yeah, the police force.
Yeah.
SPD.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And the rescue one, which no one.
Oh God, those are
And
so
then
bad.
Disney saw that it didn't make money. They got rid of it. They sold it back to Saban. Yeah.
That's just sad.
Because they needed boy toys.
Yeah,
And why didn't they
And
buy
then-
Marvel
and then-
sooner? They wouldn't be in this
and
fucking
then
problem.
Star Wars came along and solved their boy toy problem.
And Marvel too.
Solve their everything toy problem.
Well, remember for a long time,
Galaxy's Edge.
Disney had they had the princesses on lock.
Oh yeah.
They didn't have anything for. They didn't have much
Nothing
for
for
boys,
guys,
and then
yeah.
they thought Pirates was going to take over. And then when the movies came out, they had a little bit, but Star Wars.
okay,
Star Wars was filling that void, man.
Call up your
Pirates, you
birthday?
can buy like a $10 plastic sword. Like
mean
you know,
the
Star
picture-
Wars, you buy a $200 lightsaber.
Yeah, right.
My friend already went for the before opening, like 2 days before.
The annual pass holder thing.
Yeah, and he made his lightsaber. And he bought it, and I was like, it looks beautiful. I was like, how much was it? It was like two something.
Two
I was like,
something.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
God damn.
Yeah,
I was like, you hurt my soul.
No, but it's heavy, bro. It's like not
It's
plastic
legit.
shit. Yeah, it's legit.
And-
with a case, they give you a
And
case.
then he bought extra crystals because it has the slide for the kyber crystals as well.
Right.
And he was trying to
It's
find the
worth
black
it, though.
kyber crystals because they're hidden within the red tubes. He was trying to do the trick.
Did he at least get a Sony executive to go half on it?
They don't go half, bro.
Clearly.
Yeah, you get 5%. That's all you get.
That's all you get. They don't go half.
All right, with that we ended there.
Yeah.
Jesus
Killer.
Christ.
Hey, we're
So
ready
we
to
all
go.
hope. So we all hope Spider-Man comes back. We all hope he's gonna do it, and I think he will.
Can
I
we
think.
call the episode just a tip?
No, we already have the name.
Oh.
Yeah,
You
went
missed.
here
You
for
missed
it.
the name.
But it's great.
I made it.
What would we call the non-MCU but MCU continuing Spider-Man Tom Holland movie? Spider-Man Homeless?
That's what they keep calling it.
Yeah, that's why I'm homeless.
Spider-Man
Ghetto
No
Spider-Man.
More Home?
Well, see, that would actually fit in with the storyline because he would have to be out on the street because he can't go home because everybody knows he's Peter Parker.
But he
so-
can't talk to
Aunt
anyone
May
because
is
they're
part
all...
of the MCU.
He can't talk to them because they're all blippers.
No. Aunt May was bought. Everything Spider-Man, everything that was associated with
She's
Spider-Man.
dating Happy, so she's gonna be with Happy all the time.
So
They can't have
He
happy.
can't have
You
happy.
can't have Happy.
Can't have happy.
she got break up. What happened to that guy you were dating? I don't know.
One guy. I said I don't know. One guy.
Okay.
Like that.
But I didn't even think about the fact that he can't use that suit. Not even the Iron
Yeah.
Spider suit, the regular
The
one.
regular suit, because again, that's another Tony
They could
suit.
go.
Yeah.
They could go dig up Maguire's suit and use that.
Make it a VH1 movie, you know? Where are they now?
Yeah.
5 years later, but not really.
All right, so
True life. I got kicked out of Disney.
Well, we are Rogue Nation Podcast.
yeah, thank you, Kevin.
Follow us on Instagram.
Listen to us on everybody. Listen to podcasts.
Parkours.
And listen to us on all podcast platforms, and follow us on all social media. Give us a review. Let us know how we're doing. Apparently, not that well.
But we're still having fun.
We're having a
We
great
have
time.
Oh, God. Give us half the reviews.
More than 5%.
More than
Wait,
5%.
did Disney ask for half because Thanos did?
And with that, we're
Wow,
out.
that-